What if Naruto had forbidden 300 years old bloodline? In the dead of night, a young, spiky blonde-haired boy sat on the ground. His eyes glanced wildly around, recognizing the scroll in his hands. He gasped in remembrance and swore. What the heck is going on? Am I dreaming? You fool, haven't you realized by now? You triggered a forbidden jutsu. A voice snorted inside his mind. Familiar with the voice of the demon inside him, Naruto shot back silently. What are you talking about, Fox? Forget it, I'll explain later. Just do yourself a favor, start copying that scroll. Do that stupid clone thing. Hurry, there's very little time. What? Naruto questioned. Just do it. The fox snapped back. The information on the scroll will come in handy. Don't be a fool, quickly. Naruto decided he didn't even want to know what was going on as he snapped to attention. Sliding the scroll out, he jerked several blank scrolls from his backpack and made a few shadow clones, putting them all to work. Once he finished, he was exhausted, feeling quite drained from the use of his clones. That hadn't happened in a while, and it was making him nervous. Suddenly, the fox snapped, quickly, hide them and roll the scroll, brat. Deciding not to question, Naruto did as the demon said, fastening the original scroll to his back. At just that moment, he heard another familiar voice growling, "It's all over." The man chuckled in a decidedly unfriendly way. Deja vu, Naruto thought. The fox growled. Do what you did last time. Whatever you do, don't screw up. Naruto stuttered. His face turning into a grin, he reenacted the scene as he remembered from before. Scratching his head, he smiled brightly and laughed. Caught me already. You quick, Iruka-sensei. I only had time to learn one technique. He's been out here practicing. He looks exhausted, I can tell. Iruka noted with surprise, looking down upon his student with confusion as the boy threw out his arms, talking with his hands. Look, Iruka-sensei. I'm going to show you this really great technique, then you're going to let me graduate, and everything is going to be okay. That's the way it works, right? Anyone who learns a jutsu from this scroll passes. Huh? Iruka asked, shocked. Where did you get that idea? Mizuki-sensei told me about it. Believe it. He told me where to find the scroll, and this place. Naruto trailed off, knowing this was the moment he had realized something was wrong the first time around. He looked at his sensei. What? Mizuki? Iruka thought with a frown. A suspicious feeling began to nag at the corner of his senses when suddenly he heard something whip through the air. He reached out, shoving the young boy out of the way of the oncoming kunai, shouting, Naruto, look out. Naruto had forgotten this part. As his sensei shoved him away, protecting him from the weapons, the fox reminded him once again. Don't change things, brat. Remember, let it happen the way it did. Crashing to the ground a few feet away, Naruto watched helplessly. For the second time in his life, his sensei was injured by several kunai in his leg and shoulder, and pinned to the old house. I see you found our little hideaway. Naruto heard the voice of his old sensei speak out. So that's how it is. I should have known. Iruka shot back. At that moment, it took all of Naruto's power not to pummel the man. At the moment, slicing his throat open sounded like a great idea. The fox growled again. Control yourself, foolish kid. Let things flow as they did before. Why? I just want to. Naruto was cut off, the fox growling in warning. Naruto huffed silently, allowing his face to relax into confusion and fright as he remembered he had done before. Naruto, give me the scroll now, Iruka called to him. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Naruto questioned, his voice slipping with confusion. His sensei jerked the weapons from his body, calling out, Naruto. Don't let Mizuki get the scroll. It contains forbidden jutsu that could put this village in danger. Mizuki used you to get the scroll, so he could use it for his own power. Naruto, Iruka's just trying to scare you because he doesn't want you to have his scroll. The acting was really becoming hard for him, but Naruto did his best as his favorite and most precious person. Iruka-sensei growled, stop lying, Mizuki. Don't let him trick you, Naruto. Ha! I'll tell you who's really lying. The man laughed. Mizuki, no. Iruka shouted in warning. They've all been lying to you your whole life, Naruto. Since the decree 12 years ago. What decree? Naruto questioned. Inside he was fuming. Stupid fool, I already know why. Can't I just kill him, you dumb fox? Fine, but you definitely owe me an explanation. Naruto snorted, turning back into the conversation outside his head. Everyone knows except you. Iruka's trying to hide it from you, even now, he'd do anything to shut me up. I'd do anything to shut you up. Naruto retorted silently. What is this decree? Why does everyone else know about it? Don't tell him, it's forbidden. Iruka cried out desperately. The decree is that no one can tell you that the nine-tailed fox is inside you. Naruto thought, resisting the urge to roll his eyes. Following along with what he was supposed to do, he acted frightened and confused as Mizuki went on. The fox spirit that killed Iruka's parents and destroyed the village is inside of you and has taken over your body. You, Naruto, are the nine-tailed fox. Stop it. Naruto heard his sensei scream. He continued to his part as the frightened and upset child. They have all been sneaking around, hiding things from your whole life. Didn't you think it was strange how they treated you like dirt? Like they hated you for just being alive? The man spat. That was one thing Naruto really didn't want to remember his life as a child. His chakra flared and he shouted, "No. No. No. Naruto." Iruka called out in his mind. Worried and sad, he remembered the words of the Hokage earlier that day about his and Naruto's similarities to each other. His heart ached for the boy. That's right, you will never be accepted in this village. Even your beloved sensei hates your guts. The conversation haunted the young teacher. Naruto never had a family. He was shut out of everything and he doesn't even know why. He's hurting, always thinking about the family he's never had. He's never known the warmth of a parent's love, or anyone's, for that matter. That is why he plays pranks. He's hoping someone will notice him. He had been one of them, Iruka realized. He was just as guilty as anyone in the village and his heart ached seeing the look of pain on his student's face. Naruto. Iruka heard. He looked up, and his eyes whitened at the windmill shuriken weapon heading for his student. Naruto. Get down. He shouted. The memories flooded him. No matter how much Naruto tried to forget over the years, his scars never really healed. He looked up just in time to see the weapon heading for him. Turning over, he tripped, his eyes squeezing shut waiting for death, only opening when he heard the grunt of pain above him. Iruka had saved him once again. Naruto's eyes filled with tears as the man he loved like a father cried, his tears dripping down on him as he spoke about his painful past, apologizing for not being there for him more. Naruto wanted to pull the man into a hug and tell him how much he loved him, and he understood and he forgave him, but the persistent voice of the fox demanded he make a run for it like he had last time. Don't make me laugh, Mizuki scoffed. Iruka always hated you because he was orphaned because of you, the nine-tailed fox. He'd do anything to get that scroll from you. It pained him to have to run, but Naruto knew the damn fox was right. He slid out from under his teacher, Iruka looking on in sorrow as he fled into the trees. His heart was pounding and he ached inside. Another watched his pain from far away, high in Hokage Tower. This is not good. Mizuki has a big mouth. He's made Naruto feel so bad, worse than he has ever felt, and now, it could release the power of the nine-tailed fox. If Naruto keeps tampering with the scroll, then the seal could be broken. I fear for all of us. The third Hokage thought, watching what was happening through his crystal ball. Hidden behind a tree a few feet away from what was going on, Naruto's heart ached as old memories assaulted him, the fox inside him cursing him for his weakness. Shut up, stupid fox. Naruto snapped, wiping the tears from his eyes. He silently stated, I'm human. I'm not like you and I can't help it. It just hurts so much. Human fools, the fox snorted, deep inside the boy's body. Naruto had had enough. Now it was time to stop the Mizuki bastard from killing his teacher. He moved quickly to intercept the windmill shuriken from killing the injured man leaning against another tree, only realizing too late that he had lost his kunai and shuriken, probably when he had pulled scrolls from his pack earlier. With no other choice, he intercepted the thing the only way he could. Eyes widening as his student suddenly appeared, Iruka cried out, Naruto, no. He watched helplessly as the weapon stabbed through his student's shoulder, so deep blood splattered, and the metal weapon's point came through to the other side. Naruto grunted, falling to his knee in pain. He clawed the ground with his hands, the fox growling at him for his foolishness. Naruto ignored him as Mizuki laughed, stating, "You really looking forward to dying, don't you, beast? If you ever lay a hand on my sensei, I'll kill you," Naruto growled. Jerking the weapon from him, he shouted from the pain. Gritting his teeth, he tossed the weapon away, glaring at the man. "Big words for a dying beast." The man laughed, adding, "It's time to finish this, and all it will take is one move. Take your best shot, fool. Whatever you do, I'll give it back to you 1,000-fold." Naruto growled, shaking as he took to his feet. He prepared the hand sign for his Shadow Clone Jutsu. "Let's see you try. Show me what you can do, beast." Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto shouted, performing his technique. Suddenly, thousands of Naruto clones appeared, shocking both teachers. Mizuki's jaw dropped as he stared around him. "Naruto, those aren't just illusions, they're solid clones," Iruka thought, surprised and proud. His student had mastered an extremely difficult jutsu. "Ha? What?" Mizuki looked panicked as he glanced around, the clones all shouting at him. Grinning like a Cheshire cat, Naruto shouted, "If you're not going to come for us, then we're going to come for you." Naruto could not have been more thrilled as he and his clones struck out, beating the bastard to bloody pulp. When Mizuki was unconscious, Naruto stood over the man, resisting the urge to spit on him. Remembering what he had said before, he scratched the back of his neck nervously and grinned. "Sorry, I guess I kind of went overboard." He turned to his sensei and asked, "Are you alright, Iruka-sensei?" "Yes." The man answered, thinking. "He's amazing. He wants to surpass all of the Hokage, and I am starting to believe he just might do it." He called out, "Naruto, come here for a moment." Naruto knew this part well and was excited and thrilled. Moving to his sensei, he had completely forgotten about his own injuries. Far away in the village, the Hokage was informing the others that the scroll was safe. Naruto would return from the forest soon. Naruto was smiling brightly at his teacher. Tears in his eyes, he tackled the man whose headband he now wore. Iruka-sensei. Unfortunately, the impact not only hurt Iruka, but Naruto's own injuries became too much, and the blood loss caused him to black out in Iruka's arms. Naruto? The man asked, concerned. Having forgotten the boy's injuries, he became worried when the boy didn't move, his clothes and hands saturated in his blood. Pushing the pain of his own injuries to the back of his mind, Iruka quickly gathered the boy into his arms and raced back towards the village. Deep inside his own mind, Naruto pushed himself up from the water-soaked hallway, as he glanced around groaning before heading down a familiar passageway. Entering through a doorway, a growl sounded that greeted him. "You foolish kid, are you trying to kill us again?" "Ha! What are you talking about, Fox?" Naruto snapped, moving toward the cage. "Have you learned nothing? Why must you continuously put our life at risk to save those pathetic humans?" "I'm human to remember," Naruto grunted, saying. "I will tell you once again, I don't care just so long as everyone precious to me doesn't. Damn you, if I wasn't sealed in this pathetic cage I'd kill you myself. And you preach to me about trying to kill us." Naruto snorted. The fox just huffed in anger. Sitting, Naruto questioned. Are you going to tell me what is going on, Fox?" "What do you think, you idiot?" He snapped. "Did anything that just happened not give you even a clue as to what is going on?" "What clue? That I suddenly went insane or that I am dreaming?" Naruto snapped in return. "Unbelievable. How could I be cursed to be imprisoned inside such a foolish brat?" "Hey." Naruto seethed against the insult. "You died, brat, or we died. Only you has always decided to define a different path instead of the afterlife. You sent us back in time, merging us with our past self. Do you understand now?" "Ha. Me, but I didn't do anything. How can I do this?" "Stupid kid, why are you asking me? You're the one who did it, not I. Do you even remember what happened?" Naruto tried to remember as he flushed in embarrassment, saying. "Not really." "Why am I not surprised?" the demon snorted, explaining. "You and that fool Uchiha were fighting, and because you were too weak to kill him, he killed you." "Sasuke killed me," Naruto stated with shock and sadness. "Yes, you fool, you pulled back instead of striking, and allowed yourself to be killed by that foolish human brat. Why must you continue feeling something for that human brat when he felt nothing for you? Are all humans so pathetic?" "Shut up," Naruto growled, shouting. "Don't you dare call me weak or Sasuke foolish. I don't care if he killed me. I could never bring myself to kill him. He was my brother, my friend. I swore I would protect him." "You fool, the boy was a weak human relying on another's power to protect him, a foolish dark power that took his very soul away. He was never your friend, but your enemy. It wasn't his fault. He made a mistake. He was hurting. Stop talking about him like that. Sasuke was my friend, my brother, and I won't listen to you bad-mouth him. You got it. Thick and foolish as always, so be it, but remember, he will become as he once was." "Become what?" Naruto snapped in confusing remembering. "I can change things. I can stop it. I'm in the past." Naruto suddenly felt like dancing with joy as he grinned brightly. "Just as I thought, brat," the fox snorted, an all-knowing warning. "To change the past you might inevitable cause a chain reaction you will not like, so heed my warning, but at least, you will have a better training than you obviously had before." "Hey, are you saying I was weak?" "You are weak, brat," the fox snorted, adding. "But with that forbidden scroll, you will, at least, have a head start. Now you only have to continue your knowledge. I do not wish to be killed because you foolishly blunder, and those pathetic humans figure out something is wrong." "Wait, can't I just tell them? I mean, at least the Hokage?" Naruto questioned. "You foolish kid. Do you really believe the old man would believe you? No doubt he probably put you away fearing you have become insane." "Oh yeah," Naruto thought about it, and realized the fox had a point. Even to him who was experienced this all, he hardly believed it as he sighed and said. "But if I learn anything from the scroll, won't someone become suspicious?" "Don't be a fool, of course, they will just don't use so many that people become to know you had your hands on the scroll, so it would not be too far-fetched to think you glanced at a few jutsu." "Yeah, but I told Iruka-sensei I only mastered one." "Brat, you said you only mastered one, not that you did not learn others, and have yet to master them." "Oh, I get it. Cool, maybe you're not such a useless fox after all." Naruto teased the demon, growling. "Wake up, brat, before I find a way to take over your body and kill that pathetic human who constantly hovers over us." "What are you talking about? What do you think, foolish kid? Did you really believe if you stepped in front of a weapon you would not be injured?" "Oh? I pass out." "Fool, you nearly died, brat, from blood loss and chakra exhaustion. To use that pathetic brains of yours, your body is still that of a weak child, and my seal has not yet been opened, so my healing abilities are not as powerful as you are used to. It will take time and training to get your body used to the difficult task of using all the knowledge you learned over the past 16 years. "No? You mean I have to do all that work again?" Naruto groaned, remembering the hard training he had endured. "Of course, you idiot, what did you expect? You did not transfer our bodies, merely our souls. Your knowledge is intact, but your body, as I said, is weak and will need to be trained. Only, this time, use the knowledge you know and train yourself properly, including eating a better diet than that pathetic ramen you so foolishly love to choke down." "Hey, Ramen the best, it's the food of the gods. Naruto protested. Pathetic humans such as yourself need healthy food. You want to get strong and prevent the future from becoming your past, then do not be a fool and work harder than ever. Learn more and don't let another know. After all, is it not a ninja's duty to keep their enemies guessing? I'm not stupid, I get it. Naruto snapped, saying. You're just forgetting how I am going to even pull this off. It isn't as if anyone will not notice that suddenly the dead last isn't exactly blundering anymore. You have always worn a mask, and even though it kills me to say this, you have never been as dumb as everyone thought you to be, only you hid it very well. Have you forgotten? Sighing, Naruto replied. You don't understand. It isn't as if I had a choice. Fool, you had a choice. Thought I will give you credit that hiding your intelligence was about the only intelligent thing to do. Just do not forget I am a part of you. I know what you have been up to, and how well you have hidden the fact you have been learning through various means, never showing a glimpse of your true potential, holding back even in threat. To show everyone who I truly am could be dangerous. I learn young if people think you are weak, they don't tend to be as frightened as they do if they thought you were powerful and smart. Those pathetic humans were fools to be frightened of such an emotional brat who overreacts and tries to do too much good. You disgust me. The fox grunted. You no pleasure either. Naruto counter-sighed as he questioned. Well, guess I better wake up. How long have I been out? 2 days in your human time, I believe, before adding. Do not forget you will be weak and in pain. You have a very limited healing ability until the seal is cracked, brat, so try not to kill us. Yeah, well, I make no promise, but I'll try my best. Naruto snorted before turning. He left the room, heading back down the familiar path. The sudden flash of light and flare of pain made him shoot up from the bed he lied on. Naruto. The boy heard the voice of his sensei call out with worry as hands gently pushed him down, saying, Naruto, take it easy, you're injured. The pain dulling a bit, Naruto focused his eyes upon his sensei, surprised to see the concern flashing through his brown eyes, as the man soothed his spiked blonde hair back, speaking softly. You're going to be just fine, Naruto. Iruka-sensei, what happened? Naruto hoarsely choked out as the man turned, grabbing a glass of water from the table beside the bed, offering it to him. Relieving his thirst, Naruto thanked his sensei as the man answered. You had me worried, Naruto. By the time I got you back to the village, the medic said, you had lost so much blood it was doubtful you would survive with the blood loss and chakra exhaustion. Prove them wrong, didn't I? Naruto grinned, grimacing as a pain laced through his shoulder. Yes, that you did, and I am certainly grateful, but right now I will be honest, I'm not sure to thank you or scold you for being so reckless. Naruto, promise you will never do that again. He firmly ordered, looking at the boy sternly. Nay, sensei, that's not fair. Naruto exclaimed. Naruto, you are 12 years old, you should never have put yourself between Mizuki and me, you nearly died. Naruto was really taken back by Iruka's emotions. He knew the man cared for him, but he had not realized until this very moment just how much, as he whispered. I didn't mean to hurt you, Iruka-sensei, but I'm a ninja, it's my job. I can't run. You're just a genin, you haven't even begun your training yet, Naruto, and you're not even ready to decide to sacrifice yourself for someone else. The man irrational scolded. When you gave me that headband, Iruka-sensei, you made me an adult, a ninja, and it made me old enough to decide. I know the risk, honest I do, and please, you can't make me promise that it isn't fair. Naruto pleaded, looking at the man as his sensei sighed and closed his eyes for a moment and spoke softly. I know it isn't fair of me, and I apologize, I just worry about you. You don't need to worry about me, Iruka-sensei, I'm going to be strong and become Hokage. You just wait and see, then everyone will have to notice me. Chuckling at the boy's enthusiasm, Iruka ruffled his hair as said. Perhaps one day, but please just remember next time to be a bit more careful, and before you react think about what you are doing. All but Iruka-sensei thinking is too troublesome. Naruto teased, using one of Shikamaru's lines. Upping the boy lightly on the head, Iruka scolded. That isn't funny, Naruto. If you want to be Hokage someday, you better start paying attention. I'm not dumb, Iruka-sensei. Just because I didn't show up to class doesn't mean I didn't listen. Truthfully, I just had better things to do. Sorry, but your lectures are a bit long-winded sometimes. Naruto teased, earning a mock glare of anger as the sensei popped him again, saying, long-winded you say? Ha! What was the question again? Naruto played dumb, his sensei shaking his head smiled, asking. What am I going to do with you, Naruto? Buy me some ramen, sensei. Man, I'm hungry. Naruto complained, his stomach growling as his face flushed in embarrassment. Chuckling, Iruka stated. You get stronger, and when you get out, then as a treat you and I can go out for some ramen. Yay. Ramen. Naruto smacked his lips, the fox inside him growled. That is a really foolish thing, kid, you better start eating something besides ramen. Naruto just ignored him, continuing his conversation with his sensei. 2 days had passed since Naruto was released from the hospital. Spending one day to cooperate and stretch his muscles, he decided it was about time to begin his training. Not that he had much of a choice in the matter. Truthfully, if he was going to get strong enough to change the future, he had a lot of work ahead of him in order to prepare for it. Not to mention the constant growling from his dual personality inside of him never let him forget. With the month off before they were assigned into teams to start training to become Genins, Naruto knew he needed to get stronger. He wasn't going to end up tied to the post by his sensei this time around. That you can believe. Waking 2 hours before dawn, Naruto quickly ate breakfast, which he was not happy about. The constant nagging from the nine-tailed fox about eating healthy grew too tiresome to ignore, so now he would eat a rounded breakfast of fruit and vegetables each morning, before he would begin training. Retrieving the copy of the forbidden scroll he had made, Naruto would study each of the jutsu, memorizing them but not practicing them. Not just yet. The first thing he needed to do was learn how to control his chakra, which consisted studying the basics, but all the exercises he used the first time around did not seem to be helping. Perhaps it was because he had learned them later in life rather than sooner, and it was impossible for his young self to even begin control of his chakra. Frustrated with little progress, the fox reminded him. Practice tree climbing and water walking, foolish brat. Did they not help you in the past? Yes, they did, but don't I need to wait until Kakashi-sensei and the pervy sage show me? He scratched his head in thought. When I said let things progress as they did before, I was not saying let yourself blundering like last time. Claim you heard others talking about it, or God forbid you read about them. They are simple chakra control techniques. I hardly doubt anyone would become suspicious should you learn them early. Yes, you got a point, so tree walking it is. Naruto agreed. Finishing his breakfast, he dressed and headed out to train. 3 hours later, after numerous failed attempts, Naruto rubbed his sore head in frustration, growling. This sucks. I have been working for hours and I still can't get it. Your chakra control is worse than when you started this training the first time. Foolish kid, get used to it and get back to work. Naruto wished he could stick his tongue out at the demon, but it would be rather silly when the demon most likely could not even see him. As he stood up preparing to try again. Building up his chakra, he tried again, only this time he had inadvertently built up too much chakra. The power blasted a hole in the tree and sent him crashing back several feet onto his back, sizzling the soles of his sandals. Up in the treetops, a man with gray hair sighed, shaking his head at the boy. Having watched his sorry attempt to master the tree skill, he sighed. Placing his well-worn book in his pouch, he jumped down, calling out, "Yo." Turning his head, Naruto eyes whitened a bit at the sight of the man, nearly exclaiming his name. He quickly snapped his mouth shut, as the fox reminded him he wasn't supposed to know it, as he snapped instead. What do you want? Friendly brat, aren't you? The copy ninja teased, reaching out his hand and offered to help the boy up. Taking it, Naruto got to his feet, crossing his arms. He snorted again. What do you want? Seems to me it isn't what I want but what you need. The man replied, adding, do you really have horrible chakra control, or are you just trying to blow yourself up? Why do you care? Naruto spat, thought his voice wasn't filled with hate as he said, if that's all you got to tell me, do you mind if I get back to work? Whatever, kid, just thought you might want some friendly advice. Kakashi calmly stated. What advice? Naruto curiously questioned. You're too frustrated, relax a little, and quite trying to force so much chakra. I know that. Naruto grunted, throwing up his hands as he exclaimed. But it ain't easy, I either get too much or too little, and I can't help it. You think I like killing myself trying to learn basic chakra control? Hey, don't yell at me, I was just trying to help you out, but if you don't want my help, well, I got better things to do. The silver-haired Jounin shrugged, turning to leave. Naruto quickly called out. Hey, wait, I didn't say I didn't want your help. Sounded like it to me, kid. Sorry, but you just don't get it. I'm not like everyone else. No one understands, not like they care to listen anyways. Naruto added resentfully, remembering his past. Kakashi's one eye arched in question as Naruto sighed, sitting. He stated with a snort. Why are you acting like you don't know? When I haven't a clue as to what you're talking about too, should I even care? Shrugging, Naruto stated. It isn't as if anyone ever did. Anyways, guess I shouldn't waste your time. Standing up, Naruto moved to leave. His step stopped as his sensei reached out and jerked him back around, saying, I didn't tell you can leave, kid. My name's not Kid, it's Naruto Uzumaki. Ah, Uzumaki, huh? Yeah, you got a problem with it. Shrugging, he was released as the man replied. Don't care either way, but you have an attitude. I don't like people with attitude. Sorry to offend you. Naruto replied, asking. Look, if you don't want to help, can I get back to training, please? No? Kakashi stated. How? Naruto questioned, confused. I said no. I heard that, but why? What do you care? I don't, but I do care that you seem to be ruining a good tree, so have a seat. You and I are going to talk. Talk about what? About learning basic chakra control and that attitude. Who are you anyways? Kakashi had it now. Sit. Fine. Naruto snorted, sitting. He crossed his arms over his chest defensively. So talk. Naruto stated. Alright, how should I put this? The man thought and said. My first impression is I don't like you. In fact, I really don't like you. As if I care. I'm going to become the Hokage. You just wait and see, then everyone will have to respect me. With that attitude, you will be lucky if you don't get killed, and it's foolish to think with your chakra control, you even could become a ninja. I'm trying. Naruto exclaimed. Well, perhaps you should try a bit harder. Rolling his eyes, Naruto exclaimed. Is there a point in all this? So I got an attitude? Sorry, it isn't as if everybody don't have some attitude anyways. True, but if you want me to help you, then get rid of it and shut your mouth and listen. Naruto snapped his mouth closed, glaring at his sensei. He never really been angry with the man, disappointed and even hurt, but he was really getting annoyed now, as he stayed quiet and stared. If you think glaring at me is going to work, think again, brat. I wasn't glaring. Naruto huffed. Sure. Kakashi snorted, saying. So why don't you explain to me what makes you think you're different than everyone else? Are you stupid? Naruto blurted out before thinking. It isn't me that you should question, perhaps a look in the mirror is in order. How funny. Naruto growled, saying. How come you don't know when everyone else does? Well, why don't you explain to me what it is I'm supposed to know? I'm a beast, that's why. Excuse me? Kakashi questioned with surprise. Suddenly he realized why the boy looked familiar as he growled, jerking the boy up by his orange jumpsuit. Who told you? Naruto had never been handled by his sensei like this before, and his eye widened in surprise when suddenly a voice growled. Get your hands off of him. Both of them turned. Naruto, surprised to see his sensei, exclaimed. Iruka-sensei. Moving to his student's side, Kakashi released Naruto, shoving him gentle back. He crossed his arms, snorting as he dared. Do you really think you could make me? Naruto had never seen such a killer look upon his sensei face as the man growled. No one lays a hand on one of my students, and if it is a fight you want, then so be it. Iruka-sensei, he wasn't hurting me. Naruto interjected quickly, surprised at the malice the two were sending at each other as he said. This is Kakashi Haddock, we were just talking. He offered to help me on my chakra control. The copy ninja. Iruka replied with surprise, his brow raised in question as he asked. You mind telling me why it looked like you were about ready to hit Naruto? That's a friendly question, nothing more. I was curious to know why the boy knows about the nine-tailed fox. Sorry Iruka-sensei, I thought everyone knew. I mean, Mizuki said everyone knew, didn't he? Naruto played dumb, scratching the back of his head as he silently wondered how things got so out of control. You're a foolish kid like always. The fox snorted inside of him. Just shut up. Naruto growled, not realizing he had spoken out loud when suddenly the two ninjas turned to him in question. Naruto nervously laughed, looking uncomfortable as Iruka questioned. Naruto. Iruka-sensei. Naruto, why did you just shout shut up? He looked at him in concern. What, I didn't say anything. Naruto tried to deny as Kakashi stated. Seems to me the kid's insane. I'm not insane. Just because I got a stupid bastard in my head it doesn't make me crazy. Naruto blurted in anger, the fox growling dangerously. Naruto knew he had messed up as the two gave him concerned looks. Shit, I didn't just say that. Naruto slapped a hand to his head, sitting against a tree. He didn't dare look at them, ignoring his sensei kneel beside him in concern, asking. Naruto, look at me, explain to me, what do you mean? I can't tell you. Naruto turned his head away in shame. The boy is insane, we should just lock him up. Naruto heard his other sensei state, causing him to be angry. He snapped, glaring at the man. Go ahead, why don't you just kill me? It isn't as if anyone would care, that's what you all want anyways. Kill the beast, get rid of him, so go ahead, do it. Naruto, no, you can't believe that. Iruka stated with horror. Why not? Mizuki-sensei told me that. Why shouldn't I believe him? Because it's not true. Iruka protested. You really are a stupid kid. Kakashi snorted. Don't call me that, I'm not stupid, I'm being realistic. Everyone hates the nine-tailed fox, and they hate me because it's inside of me. From what I understand, your academic scores speak for themselves. Kakashi growled. Do you think I'm stupid enough to think anyone would have cared if my scores were good or not? Hell, they would have killed me if they knew the truth. Naruto, what are you saying? Iruka questioned in shock and concern. Isn't it obvious? I'm dead last. Cause I wanted to be. No one cares if you're dead last, but if you're not then everyone knows. I had enough problems staying alive. I didn't need everyone to come after me, because they thought I was smart, so I pretended to be stupid. My god Naruto, why? I don't understand, why would you do that? Iruka questioned. The boy has a point. Kakashi admitted, saying. Perhaps you're not as dumb as I thought. Naruto just snorted, saying. You learn when every day you have to defend yourself against someone trying to kill you. Naruto, why in God's name haven't you ever told anyone? Iruka questioned with sadness and worry. Tell Iruka-sensei no one likes me, even you hated me until a couple days ago. Naruto, I didn't. Iruka tried to protest. Naruto just sighed and said. Yes you did, but I understand, I really do, and I probably would have felt the same if my parents had died too. Naruto. Iruka's eyes watered as the man pulled him into a hug, saying. I'm so sorry, I was so foolish all this time, I should have been there for you. Naruto smiled as he replied. It doesn't matter Iruka-sensei, honestly I'm not mad cause you're here for me now and you're precious to me because I never really had anyone, and now that I do I wouldn't change it for the world. How sweet. Kakashi grunted, adding. Not to be rude but all this sweetness is just sick. I rather the brat explain about what he meant about the voice in his head. Not perverted enough. Naruto teased the man. Iruka scolded him. Naruto, that is a rude thing to say. But Iruka-sensei he reads perverted book. Honestly I saw him with one in the tree earlier. You were reading a book not meant for children's eyes in front of Naruto. Iruka growled, glaring at the man. I wasn't aware he even knew I was there. Kakashi replied with his eyebrow raised, thinking. The boy is observant. Interesting, what other secrets is he hiding? I should tell you my secrets. Why? Naruto snorted, knowing that look as Kakashi stated. I wasn't aware I said anything. Didn't have to. I know that look. You spend a lot of time with the old man, don't you? Cause he has that look all the time, only he states his questions out loud. Old man? Kakashi inquired. Yeah, the Hokage, he's a pervert too, you know, got the same book in his desk. Scratching his head, Naruto added for fun. All men are perverts cause I seen lots of them in the village with those books. Naruto, I can't believe you even say something about the Hokage like that. Iruka scolded. But Iruka-sensei, it's true, only he has volume 1. I like the 5th volume better cause it has more action and mystery in it. Naruto Uzumaki, don't tell me you have read those pieces of trash. Honestly, Iruka-sensei, you pulled me out of the women's bathhouse several times. What's the big deal about a perverted book? Geez, I had to do research, you know. Naruto protests, enjoying this conversation, wondering why he never done this in the past. Women's bathhouse. Kakashi arched his brow in amusement. Damn perverted village. Iruka grunted with disapproval. Naruto mouth fell open in shock, exclaiming. You cussed, Iruka-sensei, you cuss. I did not. The man quickly stated in offense as Naruto jumped up and down, exclaiming with laughter. Iruka-sensei cursed. Ha. I knew it, I was right. You won too, or you? Won what? Iruka questioned, confused. The closet pervert, of course. I bet you have those books hidden away just like that Abyssodot. Naruto. Iruka growled, offended. He exclaimed, I certainly do not read those pieces of trash. Get that thought out of your head. You should not be accusing anyone of being a pervert. It isn't nice. But I'm not accusing sensei. Honest, he fell to pieces when he saw my harem sexy no jutsu. You should have seen him Konohamaru, and I died laughing when we had to take him to the hospital from blood loss. Harem sexy no jutsu? Kakashi inquired, thinking he was beginning to like this kid. Yeah, that's why I went into the woman's bathhouse, cause I need to do research to perfect it. Honestly, Naruto, you have no morals. Iruka scolded. Naruto scratched his head in confusion, only he was really teasing as he seriously asked. Morals? What's morals, Iruka-sensei? The sight of his sensei mouth dropping and him sweating was too funny as Naruto busted out and laughed, shouting. Man, you're so easy, Iruka-sensei. Naruto Uzumaki, that isn't funny. His sensei scolded. Kakashi chuckled, very much amused, having spotted the twinkle in the kid's eyes from the first moment he opened his mouth, as he stated. You know what, kid, I'm starting to like you. Does that mean you'll help me, cause I really don't like burning myself and trying to control 2 chakras. It isn't easy. 2 chakras? Iruka gasped in surprise, staring at his student. Yes, Iruka-sensei, it's why I can't do the clone technique or any of those basic jutsu, cause my chakra control just sucks. I either waste chakra or don't us enough, and I really do try, but I still haven't figured it out. You really like screwing things up, don't you, foolish brat? Shut up, Fox, I'm tired of hiding behind the mask. This time I want to be honest, no more lies. Don't be a fool, you cannot even think about telling them you are from the future. Give me some credit, I'm not going to do that, but I'm not going to hide everything else. Do what you want, brat, it isn't as if you ever listened to me. The demon snorted in disgust. Quit giving me nightmares about killing and maybe I would listen. Naruto snorted. Their relationship was anything but normal. Die, foolish brat. I did remember. Naruto snorted as the beast growled, saying no more. 2 chakra, my god, the seal. Iruka stated with concern. Acting as if he was clueless, Naruto questioned. Seal? What seal, Iruka-sensei? Seems the brat wasn't fully informed. Kakashi stated. Naruto wasn't meant to even know about the 9-tailed fox, but unfortunately things happened that were out of my control to prevent it. Hey, I'm standing right here. Naruto waved his hands around in annoyance, asking. What seal? When the 9-tailed fox was sealed inside of you, there was a special seal placed on your body to keep the demon from escaping or taking control of you. I assume the voice you referred to is that of the 9-tailed fox, and the seal is weaning. Kakashi explained and questioned. Oh, you mean that really cool spiral on my stomach that appears when my chakra builds as a seal? Perhaps I can be certain. I have very little knowledge of seals. Kakashi admitted, saying. I believe we should get this seal checked out. If it is becoming weak, it is not a good sign. I don't think it's weak, cause he always grumbling about it, cursing it and complaining. Naruto truthful, answered the fox, snapping. Be quiet, brat, I do not complain. Naruto laughed as he answered. Yes, you do, you whine, and you know it. Naruto, you were talking to the 9-tailed fox, weren't you? Iruka stated with concern. It's alright, Iruka-sensei, he not as mean as he acts. Sometimes he is even pleasant dog, and sometimes he sounds like a gripping parent. You need to eat healthy, foolish kid. Hey brat, if you don't sleep better you're going to be weak, or my favorite, must you always be so cheerful? Can't you grumble and be depressing? I so do not sound like that. The fox growled in annoyance. Naruto laughed as the other two glanced at him in shock and worry as he shook his head, saying. I offended him. He's easier than Iruka-sensei. I am beginning to believe we should be disturbed. Kakashi stated with his brow raised, trying to imagine the fearsome beast even being decent. He really isn't that bad. Honestly, and he never admitted, but I can tell sometime he is even ashamed of the things he did. Shut up, brat. The fox growled, irritated, but Naruto could feel the emotions of the fox, and knew he was right. Naruto, I'm not sure if I should be concerned or really worried, and forgive me, but I can't imagine that the beast that attacked our village and killed my parents can't even have emotions of guilt. Foolish human, what would you know? Humans are so foolish. Do they really believe if they place the soul of a demon inside such an emotional brat, that we are immune to the effects that blend in with our own soul? Naruto gasped in shock, his eyes whitened as he exclaimed, I can't believe you just said that. Naruto, what wrong? Naruto stated with worry. That was so profound and humbling. Naruto spoke out loud and in his mind adding with glee. You really like me, don't you? Ha, I knew it. You're not as big and bad as you always try to sound. You're a big old softy. Yes, I am certainly disturbed, Kakashi stated out loud. Naruto, you worrying me? Naruto confessed, looking at his student. It's alright, sensei, the fox just admitted something that was shocking. Naruto, listen, I really don't think you should be talking to the nine-tailed fox. I know you don't understand, but what he did in the past, it was horrible. I'm concerned, and perhaps we should speak to the Hokage about this. Foolish human. The fox growled, ordering, I wish to speak to the copy ninja. What? Naruto exclaimed silently this time. You heard me, I wish to speak to the copy ninja. Right, and just how do you plan on that? Naruto snorted as the fox growled. Pathetic, it is no wonder you lost that Uchiha brat. Have you learned nothing about the Sharingan and its potential? Sure, Sasuke was so talkative about his family trait, in fact I couldn't get him to shut up. Naruto sarcastically spat the fox, growling. Behave, brat, just tell the copy ninja to use his eye on you, that is all you need to know. Naruto, speak to me. Naruto was calling. Ha. Naruto questioned, shaking out of the conversation from his mind. He blushed in embarrassment as he stated. Sorry, Ruka-sensei, what did you say? Naruto, I'm worried about you. Perhaps we should go see the Hokage. There's something I'm supposed to say, and it's going to sound a bit weird. I mean, the stupid fox, he never explains things where I can understand them. Naruto, what are you talking about? He said he wants to talk to the copy ninja. Naruto stated, grumbling to the fox, demanding to know what he was up to, as Kakashi looked at him curiously and stated. Talk to me about what? Naruto shrugged and grumbled. He wouldn't say, claims I wouldn't understand, and it is none of my business. Stupid fox, it's my head. Explain to me how he believes we can have this delightful little chat. Kakashi stated in boredom. He says you should know. Something to do with your eye or another, I don't know, he never explains things. That's it, Naruto, come along, you and I are going to talk to the Hokage. Naruto interrupted, his face filled with a frown and his eyes with worry. Interesting. Kakashi tilted his head in thought, moving closer to Naruto. If there was one thing about the copy ninja, he enjoyed puzzles, thrived off of them, and yearned on solving them. Naruto was a bit nervous as sweat beaded on his brow, looking at the man funny as he said, wow, personal space. His sentence dying as the man pulled his headband up, showing his Sharingan. Naruto got memorized by the swirling designs of the three tomos. Suddenly he was no longer on the outside of his body but laying in a hallway with water, looking up with wide eyes at the copy ninja. He exclaimed, huh. Interesting, is your mind always this dreary and empty? The silver-haired Jounin questioned. What? How? I'm confused. Naruto exclaimed, pulling himself up. He looked around, recognizing the place inside his mind as he turned and exclaimed, you're inside my head. Obviously thought, I will admit I am quite intrigued. I was not aware the Sharingan was capable of this. Now I'm disturbed. Bad enough I have this stupid fox in my head, now you. Ugh, my life sucks. My lord warned me you were difficult, but I believe you are more amusing. A voice answered, filled with amusement. Ha. Naruto head whipped around as he exclaimed. What the who are you? He demanded, looking at a small gold fox with one tail. You will know soon enough. Now hurry on, I do believe you know where you should be going. What is this open entry day? This is my mind, my head. Did someone place a for rent sign without asking me first? Naruto grunted, not at least amused though Kakashi was, as he stated. Perhaps my first thought wasn't quite correct. You are certainly a puzzle, and intriguing one at that. I do so love to please. Naruto snorted sarcastically, walking ahead. He said, come on, the sooner you see the stupid fox, the sooner I get my head back. His brow raised. Kakashi followed along, even more intrigued about the boy and what lied in this empty maze of a mind. Moving further along the empty hallways filled with locked doors, he suddenly felt a power he could not describe that swallowed him and made him shiver, yet it did not have an unwelcome to it, and was surprised the boy spoke. Yeah, that always happens to me too, I really hate it. How many times have you been here? Kakashi questioned curiously. More than I want to. When I was younger I always thought I was dreaming hell, until recently I thought it was a dream. Naruto added, not wanting to cause suspicion, as he snorted and said, oblivious is delightful. Life sucks. Turning, he opened a door. A powerful wave swamped them as Naruto shivered and growled. I really hate that. Entering through the door, he shouted. Alright, stupid fox, we're here. Mind explaining why you decided to open my mind to everyone without even telling me? It amuses me, brat. The fox snorted behind his cage as a hot breath and two large eyes appeared behind bars. The fox stated. So you are the copy ninja. It has been a long time. Not long enough. Kakashi tilted his head, his face tight. The fox snorted, replying. Long enough for me. Oh, stupid fox, what did you want with him anyways? You be quiet, brat, listening to your voice annoys me. He growled. Listening to you singing in my head when I'm trying to sleep annoys me. Naruto snorted as the fox chuckled and replied. It amuses me. Stupid fox, and you grip at me to sleep more. That amuses me as well. After all, if I must be imprisoned inside a pathetic kid like you, at least I can get some enjoyment out of it. You're a barrel of laughs, you know that. Naruto sarcastically snorted, Kakashi watching their interaction curiously and with surprise. Do not be surprised, copy ninja, I tolerate the kid. After all, our soul has been merging for years as one. And do not be concerned, it is not my soul that has affected him but his human emotions affecting me. Disgusting. A soul so pure and bright touching with my darkness, terrible, unbearable. That pathetic human that sealed me knew the effect of this process quite well. Oh, you whine too much, you know that, Naruto stated. Shouting as a tail snaked out from the bars wrapping around him, pulling him into the bar. Kakashi moved forward to stop the fox, only his speed was beyond a normal human's ability, as Naruto felt a hot tongue soaking his body as he growled. Gross, why do you have to do that? It's so wrong. Hush Brad, be thankful I tolerate you or I could devour you now. Yeah right, and risk killing yourself please. Naruto snorted, shaking the slobber off him as he complained. Can you let me go now? You really stink. Ever heard of brushing your teeth? Stupid kid. The fox growled, dropping the boy as he pulled his tail back in. Hey, Naruto complained, Kakashi watching the sight a bit disturbed but curious nonetheless as he questioned. Is there a reason I should be here? Unlike the other pathetic human, you are not emotional. Human emotions are troublesome and I have no need of them. Though I did not wish you to learn of my contact with the kid, however I am surprised it wasn't found out sooner. He does have a big mouth. Hey, watch what you say, stupid fox, or I'm never eating anything but ramen again. Stupid kid, that threat is weak. Your eating habit do not affect me. You wish to be strong, you would do well to do as I say. Nice show, but do you expect because you tricked the kid into believing you resemble something with emotions, I will be fool enough to believe the same thing? Kakashi stated with boredom, his eyes glaring at the beast that killed his sensei. Do not blame me for your precious sensei life. He gave it up willing, or have you forgotten how I came to be imprisoned inside the kid? How the fourth Hokage was your sensei? Naruto exclaimed, this being the first time he had ever known that. Do not be surprised, copy ninja, you are inside our mind, the boy and I are nearly one. Anything you think cannot be hidden from me. Hey, if that's true, how come I don't know what he is thinking? Naruto questioned. Sometimes kid, you really test my patience. He snorted, explaining. You do not know because I do not wish you to. Hey, that's not fair, it's my head. Yet I control it. The fox stated, snorting again as he said. Do not be concerned, I do not wish to take over the kid's mind, and the seal as you are so worried about is still intact, but do not be fooled. Should I have wished it long before now, I could have been free. It would have been only too easy when the kid was young and unknowing to trick him into releasing me, yet I chose to stay imprisoned. Why would you do that? I'm curious. A beast as powerful as you claim you could have broken the seal. Why choose to stay in a boy's body? From the moment I was sealed inside the kid, I was changed. Do not mistake me. I still believe humans are pathetic creatures who deserve destruction, but my soul is tied to the kid and will always be, even if we are separated. His emotions carry over to me. You should be lucky the boy harbors no ill against your pathetic village and people. Even I am amazed at his compassion to care when you all deserve destruction and suffering for what you have put him through. If it had not been for me, the boy would have died long ago. Shut up, fox, my life isn't an open storybook. Why shouldn't they know, brat? Why must you hide the horror they placed upon you when they deserve to know how lucky they are you don't hold resentment toward them? How they left you to starve and shiver in the cold and darkness, leaving you defenseless and not knowing why everyone treated you as if you were no more than a monster who should not be alive. Will you shut up? Naruto snapped. The pain, he hides it well, but it is there, always willing to trust, yet the doubt of wondering when his trust will be turned against him. If you don't shut up right now, I swear I'll kill us. My life, my thought are my own, even if I have to share them with you, so shut up. Naruto growled, upset and angry. Yes, indeed, your sensei would certainly be disappointed in the way you pathetic humans treated the kid. Giving his life to save you all, yet you turn your back on the one thing he cared most about. You most of all, copy ninja. Perhaps you should take a closer look and truly see what lies underneath the underneath. Kakashi frowned, trying to figure out the puzzle and riddle the fox was speaking of. Noticing the boys shivering in anger at the fox, he could not help but think just how horrible had the young kid's life had been. You would do well to think and consider my words, the fox stated. Beyond angry, Naruto cursed at the fox, hissing, damn you, you stupid beast. Turning, he fled the room, not wanting to stand there hearing anymore. He had enough reminders of his past to last him more than one lifetime. Is it guilt you wish me to feel? Kakashi questioned now that the boy was not in the room. Perhaps not. Either way, I do not care, but the kid, yes, I do care. Why is none of your concern? Only know this, I will protect him, and do not be concerned, the boy will become a beast. His soul is too pure for that. How it is but a mystery to me, for one who has never even truly felt love but can understand it better than anyone. It is amazing indeed. I know your thought, copy ninja, and yet once again I tell you, do not be concerned. Yes, I can control the boy's mind, but only inside. On the outside I have no control, it is all his own. Then why control his thought inside if you wish me to believe? He needs not suffer through your doubts even if they are directed at me. He is but a child who has emotions of a child. He has enough pain without more added. I must admit it is boggling knowing and seeing what I saw that you can have compassion for him. People, even beasts, can change. Do you not agree, Copy Ninja? Have you not changed by the death of your own friends and loved ones? My life is none of your business, and if you are finished I believe I have much to think about. Not yet, Copy Ninja. I wish to ask you a favor. Rares, Kakashi questioned. A favor, and why would you expect me to even consider anything you ask of me? It is not for me but for the kid, and it does concern the safety of your village. Is it a threat, Fox? Kakashi questioned calmly. Hardly, it is a warning. My powers are blending with that of the kids. Do not fear, it will not taint him, only destroy us and your village. As someone does not take an active role in training the boy. It will be many years before the blending is complete, but without training, it will indeed be devastating. He will be unable to control the power, and will unconsciously destroy everything around him. Then perhaps killing him would be in everyone's best interest. The fox laughed and replied, yes, but then to have the blood of your sensei, only son and heir, on your hands. How interesting. Tell me, do you believe you would enjoy that? Kakashi reeled at what the fox stated as he tried to deny it, hissing. Your tricks will not work on me, beast. I speak of no lies and tricks. Talk to the one the boy calls old man. I am sure you will be delighted in finding the truth, or were you too frightened to know the truth? Such a thought, isn't it? Kakashi growled, not wanting to believe, denying it. The fox just laughed cockily as he spoke. Go on, return to your own thoughts, Small. The puzzle I have given you, and believe what you wanted is best. If you leave now, the boy's mind will break and weaken, should you stay much longer. But in warning, the boy should be left in the dark about what has been said. He is at best temperamentally, and I do not wish to deal with the brat in such a state, nor would you. Now leave, I tire of this conversation and wish to rest. Dismissed. Kakashi turned, leaving out the door to find the boy sitting on the floor, his eyes staring at nothing as he grunted. Can we leave now? He seemed to have the fox care. I don't want to talk about it. The bastard, he had no right. Neither do you. Just stay out of my business and get me out of my head. Naruto snapped. For now, Kakashi stated with an underlying promise that the conversation wasn't over as he signaled to his own mind to pull back from the boy mind. The sudden withdrawal caught Naruto unprepared as he gasped, his hands shooting to his head from the pain. Kakashi gritted his teeth, experienced something a bit similar but not as harsh as Naruto, as tears sprung to the boy's eyes, and he fell to his knees, grabbing his head. Iruka was confused. One moment Naruto was speaking, the next both his student and the copy ninja were acting completely abnormal, especially his student, as the boy's cry of pain concerned him. Naruto, what's wrong? He questioned, reaching out to touch his student to comfort him when Naruto wrenched back and cried. Oh, Iruka-sensei, don't touch. Naruto. Iruka questioned with hurt, the boy crying. Don't ever do that again. My head, it feels like it's going to explode. Ugh, my body, it's burning. I must agree it isn't the most delightful experience, even if it was intrigue. Kakashi stated, trying to shake off his own effect. What? What did you do to Naruto? Iruka growled in anger and glared at the copy ninja. Oh, Iruka-sensei, not so loud please, my head, it's killing me. I'm so sorry Naruto, forgive me. Iruka softly stated, concerned. He turned to glare at the man who seemed to be recovering as he took to his feet and said, I have things I need to do. Take the boy home, he will be fine. Easy for you to say. You're not the one who feels as if his head's going to explode or whose body is on fire. Naruto snapped, irritated and in pain. Pain is good, it lets you know you're alive. Kakashi calmly stated. Iruka glared hard and Naruto just grunted in annoyance. Before disappearing, Kakashi stated, do not believe our conversation is through, we will speak again, Naruto. The boy did not get to reply. The copy ninja disappearing, Iruka silently thought of painful ways to hurt the man as he moved to help his student. Moving quickly through the forest back into the village, Kakashi soon arrived at the Hokage Tower. Entering through the window, he silently growled, having forgot about the meeting on the new genin teams was scheduled for today. Everyone was surprised to see the ninja one-man stating, well, this is unusual. Kakashi, should I be worried you are here on time? You should always be worried, Asuma. Kakashi replied, entering the room and standing beside the others. I do hope this means you will be on time more often, Kakashi. The third Hokage teased in amusement. Don't count on it, Kakashi stated. Everyone in the room, especially the Hokage, sensed something was wrong. The friend was acting out of character, and it was disconcerting. Well, perhaps we should begin then. The third stated as he began to read off names, giving them a quick overview of each of the new graduates. Kakashi patiently waited, saying nothing until the Hokage came to telling them who would be placed on their teams. Interrupting, he spoke out. I want Naruto Uzumaki placed on my team. Talk about surprised and shocked. Nearly everyone in the room's jaw dropped, and the room was certainly silent, the Hokage finally speaking. I must admit I am surprised that you request a certain person on a team. You are aware that the teams are picked to accordance, correct? I am fully aware, as you are aware I have yet to choose to pass one person or team, and if I do not get as I request, then do not be surprised if another team fails. Alright, what in God's name is going on, Kakashi, are you sick? Kurinya Yuhi voiced, everyone thought out loud. Asuma's cigarette fell from his mouth as he exclaimed. I knew you like challenges, but honestly the boys' academic records speak for themselves. He dead last. I have my reasons as to why I want the boy. Kakashi shrugged, giving nothing away when once again everyone was shocked as suddenly a very angry and red-faced, usually mild-mannered academy teacher slammed into the room growling. I don't know who the hell you think you are, Haddock, but you stay the hell away from my student, or even if it kills me, I will kill you. I believe I am missing something. The Hokage spoke curiously and confused. Everyone else could not help but agree as Kakashi turned to Iruka and stated, as touching as your words are, Yamino, the boy is no longer your student. You will do well to remember that, and he will be mine. You have no say. Over my dead body. Iruka growled, staring at the man with such hate the other ninjas actually stepped back, feeling the flow of promised pain and death from the man, everyone curious as to what was going on, and what the Uzumaki boy had to do with all of this. I'm sure I can arrange it. Kakashi stated calmly, glancing at the man. Is it a threat, copy ninja? Because if you think I am frightened, think again. If you even try to go near Naruto, I will slit your throat. Iruka. The Hokage finally intervened, chastening the man as he glanced between the two with concern. Damn, Kakashi, what you do to get Iruka so pissed? Hey, questioned. Having known Iruka for years, he had never once seen his friend as pissed off or deadly as he did at that moment. My charming personality. Kakashi shrugged. Enough, everyone, please leave. I wish to speak with Iruka and Kakashi alone. Just when it was getting good, Asuma sighed, disappointed as the ninjas filed out of the room, everyone disappointed they wouldn't get to see the conclusion, yet glad they were not either of those two. Once the room was empty of the others, the Hokage glanced between the two, silently speaking up. I am disappointed, Iruka. You have shown quite a bit of disrespect, and it concerns me. I apologize, Hokage. I should have not let my temper get the best of me. Iruka sincerely stated, his anger dissipating but not fully as he was still highly upset with Kakashi. Your apology is accepted, but please in the future, perhaps before threatening someone, you will at least talk it out. Yes, of course. Once the teacher was fully scolded, Sarutobi turned his attention to Kakashi and said, I am also very disappointed in your actions today. They do not reflect those of a high-level Jounin shinobi, my friend, and provoking Iruka cannot be excused. Do you wish to explain to me now what has happened and why your sudden interest in the boy? I must admit at first I was surprised, but now perhaps I should be concerned if Iruka's action is to be taken in account, and do be assured I take his opinion quite highly. It makes me believe you have plans, ones I am not sure of, for the child. I have my reasons, Hokage, but they are not what you believe. I do not wish to harm the boy in any way. Then why is he in the hospital burning up with fever and seriously ill? Naruto is in no condition to explain what the hell you did to him, but I will be damned if I let you do it again. Iruka growled. Iruka. The Hokage scolded, turning to Kakashi he sternly demanded. I do hope you have a very good reason as to why I should not dismiss you from service. Now Kakashi. If it was not for the fact I trust you and care for you, you would be gone from this village. I would not expect anything less, but as I said, I have my reasons and Yumino is mistaken. What happened to the boy and myself was not purpose, I admit. I did do something I was ill prepared for and did not consider the effect it would have, but things the boy spoke of caught my curiosity and concern, and I did what I believed was necessary. I think you best explain, Kakashi. The Hokage spoke seriously. Very well. Were you aware of that the boy is in contact with the nine-tailed fox, that he speaks to him inside his own mind? My god, Kakashi, are you certain? Has the seal been broken? The third stated with deep concern for Naruto and the village. We don't know that for certain. Iruka protested, stating. Naruto, he's an imaginative child. He has always been. Perhaps the stress of everything has gotten to him. He recently learned of the nine-tailed fox. Isn't it possible that he might believe he hears and speaks to the fox but isn't really? It is a heartbreaking thought, and with his background, sadly, I must admit Iruka could be right. The Hokage sighed. Yes, that was what I believed at first, but the boy isn't imagining anything, nor is he insane, or at least any insane as one should be with a beast inside them. He is in fact, as has been his entire life, in contact with the demon. Only until recently he believed them to be dreams. Knowing nothing of what was inside of him, it isn't any wonder he did not believe that to be the truth. I must question on how he discovered the knowledge of the fox. You're aware of the stealing of the forbidden scroll, are you not? Sarutobi questioned. Yes, I am aware. Only that it was stolen, not how or why. Naruto was responsible for the theft. Raising his brow, Kakashi questioned. Excuse me, but are you saying a scroll that is highly protected was stolen by a child with little training, and he isn't even begin punished? Naruto is resourcefully when he wants to be, and as for punishment, I saw no reason to punish the boy when he was innocent, begin tricked into it by one of his sensei. The third calmly stated, adding. We also owe him for keeping our village secrets intact by defeating the true criminal. Funny, I actually believe it. Kakashi stated, amused. Kakashi, may I ask what your interest is in Naruto and what makes you so sure there is not a deeper problem to his claim? I know the child is in fact in contact with the demon, as I have spoken and saw him for myself. What, how? Iruka sputtered, confused. Indeed, that is certainly a good question. It would seem the boy is sensitive to my Sharingan. Kakashi, please tell me you did not use such a weapon upon a child. Sarutobi sternly and with upset spoke out. I will admit the kid wasn't aware of what was to happen, and he was certainly displeased, but the nine-tailed fox seemed to know what was to be expected, and even urged the boy to use my eye. But why? Iruka questioned. He wished to speak to me. That doesn't make sense. Why would he choose you to speak to when Naruto doesn't even know you? He believed you were too emotional, and I agree. Kakashi stated truthfully, earning a hard glare from Iruka, who stated, Naruto means the world to me, and as much as I don't like the fox for what has done, I will always put Naruto first. Perhaps, but I'm sure he realized it would only be I that is capable, and even entering the boy's mind thought, I will admit it was the first time for me. I was not aware of all the Sharingan capabilities. And what of the seal? The Hokage questioned. The seal is still fully intact, though the nine-tailed fox did enjoy gloating to the fact if he had wanted to be free, he could have long before we would have even known. As I said, Naruto has been in contact with him since he was a baby. Even if the boy believed it was dreams, he was quite capable of removing the seal that holds him in place. That is certainly troubling, but I must admit I am curious why he admits he has willing state. It would not be like him, unless he had a plan. That was my first thought, but as disturbing as it was to witness it would seem the fox has a great deal of fondness to the boy. Fondness as happy as I am to learn, it still makes me wonder. The nine-tailed admitted that from the moment he was sealed inside the boy their souls begun to merge, and with it he is beginning to carry human emotion, and was quite persistent on reminding me how lucky we should be. The boy seems to hold no grudges against us, it would seem, and I admit I am not pleased to learn the boy was abused in many disconcerting ways, even dealing with his threat of life. No, it can't be. Iruka replied, shocked and worried, thinking about Naruto. He knew Naruto was ignored, but to be abused physically, and even had his life threatened, it was heartbreaking. It was with great heartache I blame myself for those acts. The Hokage admitted. It's true someone tried to kill Naruto. Iruka questioned, not wanting to believe it. Sadly it is, and I am even sadder to report it was not only civilians among the village but of a few Jounin and Chunin. He survived. Iruka couldn't believe it. It was a miracle indeed. No, you can thank the fox. It seemed he did not wish to die, and neither did he wish the boy to be harmed, but the action came with a price. A price? Sarutobi questioned. In order to allow the boy to use his power of healing, he had to force the power on the boy, and in doing so he started a chain reaction, though he claims it will be many years from now. If the boy is not properly trained, the power of his chakra will overwhelm him, this destroying not only our village but the boy himself. My god. Iruka stated with shock. The Hokage was shocked as well as he looked at Kakashi and stated. It is certainly disconcerting, but Kakashi, I must admit I am surprised that in the face of something that would destroy our village, you did not take any action. Believe me, that was my first thought. Kakashi grunted. Iruka, upset, snapped. How can you stand there and just say you were going to kill a child, and you Hokage, doesn't Naruto mean nothing to you? Iruka, you misunderstand me. Naruto is indeed a person I care a great deal about, and I would have been quite upset if I had learned that Kakashi had taken his life without even speaking to me first, and finding another solution. I was just surprised he seemed to think that as well. It is not usually in his nature. You're right, it isn't. I am trained to be a tool to this village to protect it at all cost. Even if it is against my belief, I will do what it takes, but not this time. One, because the fox offered another solution. Not a guarantee the boy will not still be consumed, but the second one is I will not have the blood of my sensei staining my hands, nor will I allow anyone to. You know then. Sarutobi stated quietly. Why wasn't I told he was my sensei, my father? What right did you have to keep this from me? The man dangerously growled. As you, I had my reason, but mostly because Minato asked me to keep his identity a secret, fearing his enemies would come for him. Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, is Naruto's father, Iruka exclaimed in complete utter shock. Yes, and you know why now? No one must even learn of it. Naruto must not ever know. The Hokage stated seriously. You have no need to explain. The fox already warned me I would not want to deal with the boy, nor he would if the boy was to find out. Not that I care what the fox has to deal with. What I want to know is who else knows you weren't the only one, were you and his mother? What of her? As everyone including Naruto knows, she died at birth. It is true. What he does not know is I do know who his mother was. She was a bright, beautiful woman with a heart of gold, and in a lot of ways Naruto is much like her as he is of his father. She and your sensei meet on one of your missions and thought they did not plan it. Naruto was conceived, and just before she gave birth, she fled from her home, the country of the clouds. Not having the heart to deny Minato the knowledge of his own son, she came to him a few nights before the attack of the nine-tailed fox. How do you know Naruto was his for certain? Kakashi questioned. Thought even he had to admit now, looking at the boy closer, he did resemble his sensei. I assure you it was not a trick. Indeed, Naruto is in fact Minato's son. I myself tested him to be sure. Thought I must admit Minato was furious. I am sure he would have did quite the bodily harm if the attack had not taken place, and he was needed. He was already emotionally upset. His love had died, and here I was claiming the child in his arms. Could perhaps be nothing more than a lie to deceive us. Sigh, he added. He cherished Naruto above anything from the moment he held him, as any parent would, and when he realized he had no choice but to use his son as a vessel to imprison the nine-tailed fox, it was not only the sealing that killed him, but his heart broke, knowing he had placed a burden so great upon his own child. I know Minato well. Even if another child had been born that very night, he would never had the heart to have chose another child to him. If he could not have chosen his own blood, how could he have chosen another? Sarutobi finished. I understand, but didn't he realize the effects of what would happen? Iruka spoke and questioned. He had hoped the village would see Naruto not in fear or angry but as a hero as he should be. Foolish as the hope was, it was his wish. Sadly, it did not come to pass. Who else knows? Kakashi questioned again. Jiraiya and I, till now we were the only ones that know, and Tsunade, she threw Naruto mother, they were friends. It is all I really know. I see. Kakashi stated. Forgive me for not saying anything till now, and forgive me when I say this, but if you had not been told I would have taken it to my grave, but I did what I could, and perhaps I failed, and I regret it more than anything, but my position doesn't allow me to choose favorites over one of the villagers, not even over Naruto. There is little I can do except try to keep the boy safe as I can. Then you will not deny me on my request. Kakashi stated he would not back down on this. He owed it to his sensei, the man who became his father after the loss of his own, to make sure his own son was prepared and protected, and he knew other than himself there was one other that would be best suited to help the boy, and the other was not even around. Thought I did not plan it. I will admit I did foresee that out of everyone I believed you were most qualified to train him, so in the end Naruto is in your charge. That is all I need. Kakashi stated, moving to leave. Iruka was not satisfied as he warned. If you hurt him I will do my best to make your life miserable. Iruka, is there need of such threats? The Hokage scolded. Forgive me Hokage, but I still don't trust the man. I know nothing of him, only what I witnessed today, and what I heard. You admitted. Yourself as Hokage you must be impartial to all, but someone needs to look out for Naruto's welfare. I do not have the same limits as you do, and perhaps I don't have a right, but I care about him. Care not. His goal is to become a shinobi, or I believe the Hokage. We are tools, and in that it guarantees there will be hurt, pain, even death. I can only promise until such a time he is ready. I will do what I can to protect him from death. As for anything else any fool would know, it is a foolish dream. Then call me a foolish dreamer, and it wasn't just the pain of the body I was speaking of. All I have witnessed from you is sarcasm and very little emotion. Even a shinobi is human. I won't have Naruto become some emotionless tool. He deserves better than that. Leave my students to me. Do you not have your own upcoming to worry about? Kakashi quoted, disappearing through the window. Sighed. The Hokage stated softly. Iruka, do not think bad about Kakashi. Thought he rarely shows it. He does have feelings as anyone else, only he has lost many he cared about, and blames himself. Perhaps where I have failed to help him Naruto can. It seems he has a gift to bring feeling to even the most evil of creatures. The Hokage smiled softly. Iruka understood what the Hokage was speaking about. Granted, he still had a hard time believing the beast that killed his parents could even have a heart. He still understood as he stated. I will try, I just worry. It is good that you do. I think Naruto needs that now more than ever, and I am glad someone finally see the boy as more than what is inside of him. I was fool who let my anger and hurt get the best of me, but I know better now. Not to say I will trust that man, at least not yet. Later perhaps, but not yet. Very well, but I have high hopes you and I will both be proved wrong. I hope so Hokage, I hope so. Iruka stated with a concerned sigh. Moving quickly through the forest back into the village, Kakashi soon arrived at the Hokage tower. Entering through the window he silently growled, having forgot about the meeting on the new Genin teams was scheduled for today. Everyone was surprised to see the ninja one-man stating. Well, this is unusual Kakashi, should I be worried you are here on time? You should always be worried Asuma. Kakashi replied, entering the room and standing beside the others. I do hope this means you will be on time more often Kakashi. The third Hokage teased in amusement. Don't count on it, Kakashi stated. Everyone in the room, especially the Hokage, sensed something was wrong. The friend was acting out of character, and it was disconcerting. Well, perhaps we should begin then. The third stated as he began to read off names, giving them a quick overview of each of the new graduates. Kakashi patiently waited, saying nothing until the Hokage came to telling them who would be placed on their teams. Interrupting, he spoke out. I want Naruto Uzumaki placed on my team. Talk about surprised and shocked, nearly everyone in the room's jaw dropped, and the room was certainly silent, the Hokage finally speaking. I must admit I am surprised that you request a certain person on a team. You are aware that the teams are picked to accordance, correct? I am fully aware, as you are aware I have yet to choose to pass one person or team, and if I do not get as I request, then do not be surprised if another team fails. Alright, what in God's name is going on Kakashi, are you sick? Kurinya Yuhi voiced, everyone thought out loud. Asuma's cigarette fell from his mouth as he exclaimed. I knew you like challenges, but honestly the boy's academic records speak for themselves. He dead last. I have my reasons as to why I want the boy. Kakashi shrugged, giving nothing away when once again everyone was shocked as suddenly a very angry and red-faced, usually mild-mannered academy teacher slammed into the room growling. I don't know who the hell you think you are, Haddock, but you stay the hell away from my student, or even if it kills me I will kill you. I believe I am missing something. The Hokage spoke curiously and confused. Everyone else could not help but agree as Kakashi turned to Iruka and stated. As touching as your words are, you mean the boy is no longer your student. You will do well to remember that, and he will be mine. You have no say. Over my dead body. Iruka growled, staring at the man with such hate the other ninjas actual stepped back, feeling the flow of promised pain and death from the man, everyone curious as to what was going on, and what the Uzumaki boy had to do with all of this. I'm sure I can arrange it. Kakashi stated calmly, glancing at the man. Is it a threat, copy ninja? Because if you think I am frightened, think again. If you even try to go near Naruto, I will slit your throat. Iruka. The Hokage finally intervened, chastening the man as he glanced between the two with concern. Damn, Kakashi, what'd you do to get Iruka so pissed? Hey, questioned. Having known Iruka for years, he had never once seen his friend as pissed off or deadly as he did at that moment. My charming personality. Kakashi shrugged. Enough, everyone, please leave. I wish to speak with Iruka and Kakashi alone. Just when it was getting good. Asuma sighed, disappointed as the ninjas filed out of the room, everyone disappointed they wouldn't get to see the conclusion, yet glad they were not either of those two. Once the room was empty of the others, the Hokage glanced between the two, silently speaking up. I am disappointed, Iruka, you have shown quite a bit of disrespect, and it concerns me. I apologize, Hokage, I should have not let my temper get the best of me. Iruka sincerely stated, his anger dissipating but not fully as he was still highly upset with Kakashi. Your apology is accepted, but please in the future, perhaps before threatening someone, you will at least talk it out. Yes, of course. Once the teacher was fully scolded, Sarutobi turned his attention to Kakashi and said, I am also very disappointed in your actions today. They do not reflect those of a high-level Jounin shinobi, my friend, and provoking Iruka cannot be excused. Do you wish to explain to me now what has happened and why your sudden interest in the boy? I must admit, at first I was surprised, but now perhaps I should be concerned if Iruka's action is to be taken in account, and do be assured I take his opinion quite highly. It makes me believe you have plans, ones I am not sure of, for the child. I have my reasons, Hokage, but they are not what you believe. I do not wish to harm the boy in any way. Then why is he in the hospital burning up with fever and seriously ill? Naruto is in no condition to explain what the hell you did to him, but I will be damned if I let you do it again. Iruka growled. Iruka. The Hokage scolded, turning to Kakashi he sternly demanded. I do hope you have a very good reason as to why I should not dismiss you from service. Now, I would not expect anything less, but as I said, I have my reasons and Yumino is mistaken. What happened to the boy and myself was not purpose, I admit. I did do something I was ill prepared for and did not consider the effect it would have, but things the boy spoke of caught my curiosity and concern, and I did what I believed was necessary. I think you best explain, Kakashi. The Hokage spoke seriously. Very well, were you aware of that the boy is in contact with the nine-tailed fox, that he speaks to him inside his own mind? My god, Kakashi, are you certain? Has the seal been broken? The third stated with deep concern for Naruto and the village. We don't know that for certain. Iruka protested, stating. Naruto, he's an imaginative child. He has always been. Perhaps the stress of everything has gotten to him. He recently learned of the nine-tailed fox. Isn't it possible that he might believe he hears and speaks to the fox but isn't really? It is a heartbreaking thought, and with his background, sadly, I must admit Iruka could be right. The Hokage sighed. Yes, that was what I believed at first, but the boy isn't imagining anything, nor is he insane, or at least any insane as one should be with a beast inside them. He is in fact, as has been his entire life, in contact with the demon. Only until recently he believed them to be dreams. Knowing nothing of what was inside of him, it isn't any wonder he did not believe that to be the truth. Thought. I must question on how he discovered the knowledge of the fox. You are aware of the stealing of the forbidden scroll, are you not? Sarutobi questioned. Yes, I am aware. Thought only that it was stolen, not how. Why? Naruto was responsible for the theft. Raising his brow, Kakashi questioned. Excuse me, but are you saying a scroll that is highly protected was stolen by a child with little training, and he isn't even begin punished? Naruto is resourceful when he wants to be, and as for punishment, I saw no reason to punish the boy when he was innocent, begin tricked into it by one of his sensei. The third calmly stated, adding. We also owe him for keeping our village secrets intact by defeating the true criminal. Funny, I actually believe it. Kakashi stated, amused. Kakashi, may I ask what your interest is in Naruto and what makes you so sure there is not a deeper problem to his claim? I know the child is in fact in contact with the demon, as I have spoken and saw him for myself. What, how? Iruka sputtered, confused. Indeed, that is certainly a good question. It would seem the boy is sensitive to my Sharingan. Kakashi, please tell me you did not use such a weapon upon a child. Sarutobi sternly and with upset spoke out. I will admit the kid wasn't aware of what was to happen, and he was certainly displeased, but the nine-tailed fox seemed to know what was to be expected, and even urged the boy to use my eye. But why? Iruka questioned. He wished to speak to me. That doesn't make sense. Why would he choose you to speak to when Naruto doesn't even know you? He believed you were too emotional, and I agree. Kakashi stated truthfully, earning a hard glare from Iruka, who stated. Naruto means the world to me, and as much as I don't like the fox for what has done, I will always put Naruto first. Perhaps, but I'm sure he realized it would only be I that is capable in even entering the boy's mind. Thought. I will admit it was the first time for me. I was not aware of all the Sharingan capabilities. And what of the seal? The Hokage questioned. The seal is still fully intact, though the nine-tailed fox did enjoy gloating to the fact if he had wanted to be free, he could have long before we would have even known. As I said, Naruto has been in contact with him since he was a baby. Even if the boy believed it was dreams, he was quite capable of removing the seal that holds him in place. That is certainly troubling, but I must admit I am curious why he admits he has willing state. It would not be like him, unless he had a plan. That was my first thought, but as disturbing as it was to witness it would seem the fox has a great deal of fondness to the boy. Fondness as happy as I am to learn, it still makes me wonder. The nine-tail admitted that from the moment he was sealed inside the boy their souls begun to merge, and with it he is beginning to carry human emotion, and was quite persistent on reminding me how lucky we should be. The boy seems to hold no grudges against us, it would seem, and I admit I am not pleased to learn the boy was abused in many disconcerting ways, even dealing with his threat of life. No, it can't be. Naruto replied, shocked and worried, thinking about Naruto. He knew Naruto was ignored, but to be abused physically, and even had his life threatened, it was heartbreaking. It was with great heartache I blame myself for those acts. The Hokage admitted. It's true someone tried to kill Naruto. Naruto questioned, not wanting to believe it. Sadly it is, and I am even sadder to report it was not only civilians among the village but of a few Jounin and Chunin. He survived. Naruto couldn't believe it. It was a miracle indeed. No, you can thank the fox. It seemed he did not wish to die, and neither did he wish the boy to be harmed, but the action came with a price. A price? Sarutobi questioned. In order to allow the boy to use his power of healing, he had to force the power on the boy, and in doing so he started a chain reaction, though he claims it will be many years from now. If the boy is not properly trained, the power of his chakra will overwhelm him, this destroying not only our village but the boy himself. My god. Naruto stated with shock. The Hokage was shocked as well as he looked at Kakashi and stated. It is certainly disconcerting, but Kakashi, I must admit I am surprised that in the face of something that would destroy our village, you did not take any action. Believe me, that was my first thought. Kakashi grunted. Naruto upset snapped. How can you stand there and just say you were going to kill a child, and you Hokage? Doesn't Naruto mean nothing to you? Naruto, you misunderstand me. Naruto is indeed a person I care a great deal about, and I would have been quite upset if I had learned that Kakashi had taken his life without even speaking to me first, and finding another solution. I was just surprised he seemed to think that as well. It is not usually in his nature. You're right, it isn't. I am trained to be a tool to this village to protect it at all costs. Even if it is against my belief, I will do what it takes, but not this time. One, because the fox offered another solution. Not a guarantee the boy will not still be consumed, but the second one is I will not have the blood of my sensei staining my hands, nor will I allow anyone to. You know then. Sarutobi stated quietly. Why wasn't I told he was my sensei, my father? What right did you have to keep this from me? The man dangerously growled. As you, I had my reason, but mostly because Minato asked me to keep his identity a secret, fearing his enemies would come for him. Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, is Naruto father, Iruka exclaimed in complete utter shock. Yes, and you know why now? No one must even learn of it. Naruto must not ever know. The Hokage stated seriously. You have no need to explain. The fox already warned me I would not want to deal with the boy, nor he would if the boy was to find out. Not that I care what the fox has to deal with. What I want to know is who else knows you weren't the only one. Were you and his mother? What of her? As everyone including Naruto knows, she died at birth. That is true. What he does not know is I do know who his mother was. She was a bright, beautiful woman with a heart of gold, and she and your sensei meet on one of your missions and thought they did not plan it. Naruto was conceived, and just before she gave birth, she fled from her home, the country of the clouds. Not having the heart to deny Minato the knowledge of his own son, she came to him a few nights before the attack of the nine-tailed fox. How do you know Naruto was his for certain? Kakashi questioned. Thought even he had to admit now, looking at the boy closer, he did resemble his sensei. I assure you it was not a trick. Indeed, Naruto is in fact Minato's son. I myself tested him to be sure. Thought I must admit Minato was furious. I am sure he would have did quite the bodily harm if the attack had not taken place, and he was needed. He was already emotionally upset. His love had died, and here I was claiming the child in his arms. Could perhaps be nothing more than a lie to deceive us. Sigh, he added. He cherished Naruto above anything from the moment he held him, as any parent would, and when he realized he had no choice but to use his son as a vessel to imprison the nine-tailed fox, it was not only the sealing that killed him, but his heart broke, knowing he had placed a burden so great upon his own child. I know Minato well. Even if another child had been born that very night, he would never had the heart to have chosen another child to him. If he could not have chosen his own blood, how could he have chosen another? Sarutobi finished. I understand, but didn't he realize the effects of what would happen? Iruka spoke and questioned. He had hoped the village would see Naruto not in fear or angry, but as a hero, as he should be. Foolish as the hope was, it was his wish. Sadly, it did not come to pass. Who else knows? Kakashi questioned again. Jiraiya and I, till now we were the only ones that know, and Tsunade, she threw Naruto mother, they were friends. It is all I really know. I see. Kakashi stated. Forgive me for not saying anything till now and forgive me when I say this, but if you had not been told I would have taken it to my grave, but I did what I could, and perhaps I failed, and I regret it more than anything, but my position doesn't allow me to choose favorites over one of the villagers, not even over Naruto. There is little I can do except try to keep the boy safe as I can. Then you will not deny me on my request. Kakashi stated he would not back down on this. He owed it to his sensei, the man who became his father after the loss of his own, to make sure his own son was prepared and protected, and he knew other than himself there was one other that would be best suited to help the boy, and the other was not even around. Thought I did not plan it. I will admit I did foresee that out of everyone I believed you were most qualified to train him, so in the end Naruto is in your charge. That is all I need. Kakashi stated, moving to leave. Iruka was not satisfied as he warned. If you hurt him I will do my best to make your life miserable. Iruka, is there need of such threats? The Hokage scolded. Forgive me Hokage, but I still don't trust the man. I know nothing of him, only what I witnessed today, and what I heard. You admitted. Yourself as Hokage you must be impartial to all, but someone needs to look out for Naruto's welfare. I do not have the same limits as you do, and perhaps I don't have a right, but I care about him. Care not. His goal is to become a shinobi, or I believe the Hokage. We are tools, and in that it guarantees there will be hurt, pain, even death. I can only promise until such a time he is ready. I will do what I can to protect him from death. As for anything else any fool would know, it is a foolish dream. Then call me a foolish dreamer, and it wasn't just the pain of the body I was speaking of. All I have witnessed from you is sarcasm and very little emotion. Even a shinobi is human. I won't have Naruto become some emotionless tool. He deserves better than that. Leave my students to me. Do you not have your own upcoming to worry about? Kakashi quoted, disappearing through the window. Sighed. The Hokage stated softly. Iruka, do not think bad about Kakashi. Thought he rarely shows it. He does have feelings as anyone else, only he has lost many he cared about, and blames himself. Perhaps where I have failed to help him Naruto can. It seems he has a gift to bring feeling to even the most evil of creatures. The Hokage smiled softly. Iruka understood what the Hokage was speaking about. Granted, he still had a hard time believing the beast that killed his parents could even have a heart. He still understood as he stated. I will try, I just worry. It is good that you do. I think Naruto needs that now more than ever, and I am glad someone finally see the boy as more than what is inside of him. I was fool who let my anger and hurt get the best of me, but I know better now. Not to say I will trust that man, at least not yet. Later perhaps, but not yet. Very well, but I have high hopes you and I will both be proved wrong. I hope so Hokage, I hope so. Iruka stated with a concerned sigh. Crabby and miffed about spending an entire month in the hospital, Naruto was on edge. Never in his entire life had he ever been sick rarely, even when he was a small kid running around alone on the cold dark streets. Of all the time to be ill his body chose now. No thanks to the stupid fox and him inviting others in his head. If he wasn't so angry and still ignoring the fox, he would have asked, no, demanded who that other fox was inside his mind. Demanded? How utterly childish. The fox snickered in the back of his head. Naruto howling. I'm still not talking to you. You tell me when you plan on stopping this childish rant so we may continue on with a more productive conversation. The fox sighed, pulling himself further from Naruto's thoughts, allowing the boy some privacy. Stupid furball. Naruto snorted, making his way through the streets of Konoha. But an hour before it was time to head on to the academy, Naruto had one place he wished to visit. After making a stop at his apartment, he picked up his frog pouch, and was going to treat himself to the best medicine in his opinion in the world. Hey old man, give me some ramen please. Oh Naruto my boy, where have you been? I was beginning to wonder where my favorite costumer has been hiding. Father has been quite concerned. Naruto Aim spoke, placing a bowl as her father filled it with ramen. Grabbing his chopstick, Naruto eyes widened in delight as he answered. Ramen man, how I dreamed of ramen for so long. Before slurping the food down, tipping the bowl back, he smiled satisfied. He answered. Been in the hospital. Hospital? Ah. Naruto, what have you done? The old man inquired. I didn't do anything old man, it was a stupid jounin. Naruto, you were attacked. Aim gasped in concern. No, not really, just didn't have warning is all, but I'm better now, and I defiantly want some more ramen. The two shook their head in smiles, and soon enough Naruto had eaten at least 20 bowls of ramen. Before finding himself full, he tossed his frog pouch on the counter, shouting, ah, I got to go see you old man Aim. Bye Naruto. Aim waved after him. Her father had tears in his eyes, saying, that boy, he's so thoughtful. Aim rolled her eyes at the look of her father holding Naruto money pouch. Nothing made her father more happier than money. Not that he didn't care for others, he was a time a bit too greedy. Naruto was no doubt winded by the time he reached the academy. After so long of being bedridden, he had a lot of training to make up for, he thought as he sauntered into the class. Entering to take a seat, he turned as Kiba, one of his fellow classmates, yelled out. Only those who passed are supposed to be here. Idiot, what do you think you're doing? Buzz off Kiba. You blind or something, what do you think this means? Naruto spat back, tapping his headband. Looks to me like you stole it. Ha, it isn't even new. What games are you playing, dope? The boy demanded. It's the best because it's definitely seen more action than you or Akamaru ever will. Naruto grinned with his insult. Oh shut up stupid. Kiba growled, shoving past Naruto. He took a seat in the last row. Doing the same, Naruto sat down, laying his head upon his desk, sighing in relief at the coolness of the wood beneath him. Perhaps he should not have left the hospital like he did, but then again he wasn't going to miss this for anything. Soon enough everyone gathered in and Iruka-sensei arrived moving down the stairs. Naruto peeked his eyes open as the man frowned down at him. Naruto, I wasn't aware you have been permitted to leave the hospital yet. I'm fine, Iruka-sensei. Naruto replied, giving him one of his signature grins, before the man embraced the boy, reaching out, placing a hand on his head to check his temperature. Naruto, you're still burning with a bit of fever. You left, didn't you? He accused sternly. Iruka-sensei. The boy whined, feeling the curious eyes of everyone else on him. He blushed. Don't Iruka-sensei me, young man. You need to get back to bed. But Iruka-sensei, I'm supposed to be here. How am I supposed to know what to do if I have to stay in that stuffy bed? Very well, I'll let it slide for now, but Naruto, if you feel any worse, I want your word. You will tell me. You're the best, Iruka-sensei. Naruto grinned, relieved and thankful. I have some papers to retrieve, but I will return shortly. Naruto watched his sensei disappear into his office. When his name was called out, he looked up toward Kiba, who snickered, saying, "Aw's little bitty Naruto ill. Shove it up your face, mutt." Naruto snapped, not in the mood for word sparring, as Shikamaru walking past stated. How troublesome you look, like crap, kid. Your words move me. Naruto snorted sarcastically as the boy shoved him over and took a seat, asking, "What a drag, so what you do this time?" "Hey, what makes you think I did something?" Naruto protested. "You're always troublesome." "Ugh, not my fault this time, I'm completely innocent." "Why I even bothered is to troublesome?" Shikamaru sighed, asking, "So kid, you going to tell me or not?" "Not." Naruto stated, giving in when the pineapple dark hair kid continued to give him that look. "Alright, already quit looking at me like that," he pleaded before answering. "I have been ill because some stupid jounin decided to have a look in my head. Not that it was all his fault, mind you, but it messed with my chakra coils or something, and I am just messed up, alright. Honestly dope, you're an idiot." Naruto heard Sasuke Uchiha snort on his other side. Naruto had not even realized the boy was sitting there as he groaned. "Ugh, not you too. Can't I get some peace around here? I feel like shit." "You always look like it too, dope." The dark-haired brat snorted sarcastically. "How utterly thoughtful of you." Naruto retorted in the same tone before saying, "Note to myself, remember to remind me not to get you anything for your birthday unless a poison and deadly." Naruto joked, causing the two to raise their brow in surprise. "Hey, quit looking at me like that," he whined. "Truly troublesome." Shikamaru shook his head. Sasuke glaring stated, "You're different, dope. What's wrong with you?" "Well, I could say it was because I'm matured, but then I'd be lying. Yeah, definitely lying." Naruto joked, his grin returning. Sasuke snorted, saying, "I shouldn't have asked. You be nice or I won't show you a wicked fire jutsu I learned." Naruto bragged. Sasuke just raised his brow in disbelief. Anything he was going to say was cut off as two annoying girls came shoving into the room, arguing and calling each other names, before bringing their argument to them. "Shut up, Ino pig." I'm sitting beside Sasuke. The pink-haired Kunoichi spat in anger. Billboard freak. Sasuke and I are sitting beside each other. The light blonde-haired Kunoichi retorted. "Man, will you two shut up?" Naruto whined, adding, "Dying man here." Naruto snapped. The two, taking notice of him, turned their glare and anger on him, both reaching out, grabbed Naruto, knocking Shikamaru to the floor, and Naruto on top of him, before they both growled, "Move it, Naruto." I'm sitting beside Sasuke. Leaping on the desk in front of Sasuke, Naruto narrowed his eyes, looking at the boy. Why he wasn't sure as Sasuke growled, "What are you doing, dope?" "Trying to figure out what those idiots see in you," Naruto answered before he was shoved from behind. "Talk about deja vu," Naruto growled as his lips smashed against Sasuke, both of them jerking back. They sputtered and spat, the girls gasping before growling, "You are so dead, Naruto." "Hey, it wasn't my fault. Come on, have a little heart, I'm sick." Naruto whined and pleaded as he was grabbed before beaten to a bloody pulp by the girls. Before another one, the Uchiha fans kicked him so hard it sent him flying down the stair to the bottom. Laying there dazed, Naruto eyes glazed at the ceiling. In the Hokage Tower, the third shook his head while his fellow jounin circled around him. One spoke. "One cannot say that boy isn't at least entertaining." Asuma snorted, chewing a cigarette as he stated, "You ever going to tell us, Kakashi, what made you interested in that brat?" "What make you Asuma think I'm interested?" Kakashi calmly replied. Kurenai snorted, saying, "I never seen Iruka so angry. Perhaps that was our clue." Back in the classroom, Naruto stared no longer at the ceiling, but his sensei bending over him with concern, he demanded, "What is going on in here?" Realizing how much better he felt, Naruto grinned brightly, jerking up to sit. He wrapped his arms around the man and laughed. "Iruka-sensei, I feel so much better." Before releasing the man shocking the class, he jumped up toward Ino and Sakura, first grabbing Ino. He pulled her in his arms and dipped her, kissing her on the mouth. The girl sputtered at first. Everyone in the room on mouths dropped at the scene before Naruto released the shocked girl and grabbed Sakura, doing the same. Releasing her, he grinned and exclaimed, "What beautiful, wonderful beauties! I thank you from the bottom of my heart, for you have saved me." Releasing the shocked pink-haired girl, he sauntered over and sat down, his illness forgotten as everyone just stared in shock at what he had just done. Sitting on the floor, Ino silently thought, wow, who would have ever thought the idiot could kiss like that? Her cheek flushing with red, Sakura's own voice mimicking Ino's thoughts and cheek coloring before Iruka called order to the class. Passing by, Shikamaru shook his head saying, troublesome. In the Hokage Tower, the Jounin all smiled in amusement as Suma saying, well, I'll give the kid one thing, he's certainly unpredictable. First he gets beat up, then he makes them blush. I'll say, but look over here, he certainly got those two girls an enemy if I didn't know any better, which I don't. The Hyuga heir has something for the brat. Kakashi eye just twinkled thinking, you certainly are interesting kid, very interesting. You're such an idiot, dope. Sasuke grunted beside him. Naruto just grinned as he said, jealous Sasuke, was my lip lock not enough for you? Bro, stop, the boy sputtered, wiping his mouth again. Naruto just chuckled, sitting quietly while they waited for Iruka to announce the teams. It wasn't a big surprise to Naruto that once all the teams were announced and taken away, they were the last in the group to be sitting in the room. Annoyed, Naruto got a gleam in his eyes as he moved to the sink, dumping out a pot of plant. He filled it with water from the sink. Sasuke calling out, what are you doing, dope? Just having a bit of fun. Naruto snickered, using a chair to balance the pot above the doorway. He snickered again. Sakura eyes widened as she exclaimed, Naruto, are you trying to get us in trouble? Don't make me kiss you again, Sakura. The girl shut up, her cheeks blushing as Naruto wiggled his brow in gesture as he teased, of course I wouldn't mind, thought. Naruto. She shrieked in embarrassment, her inner voice saying, yeah, I love this. Referring to the prank, while on the outside she shouted, you are so dead, Naruto. Naruto quickly backed away when suddenly the door opened and the sound of a crashing pot hit the floor. Naruto looked and exclaimed, you, before falling to the floor in laughter. Sasuke and Sakura looked on, curious and wide-eyed. Sasuke thinking, he's our team leader and he fell for Naruto's stupid trick, just great. Sakura begun to apologize for her teammate. Whipping his dripping wet hair from his face, Kakashi stated, how should I put this? My first impression of you three is I don't like you at all. Naruto just snorted, the man eye catching his own. He said, let's go to the roof. The four of them filed out, making their way to the roof. Their sensei sat on the roof rail as they sat down on a small staircase, Sakura on one side, Sasuke in the middle, and Naruto on the opposite end. Alright, why don't you introduce yourself one at a time? Introduce herself? Well, what are we supposed to say? Sakura questioned. Things you like, things you hate, dreams for the future, hobbies, things like that. Kakashi answered. Why don't you tell us things first? Naruto stated. Me, I'm Kakashi, I like and things I hate. I don't feel like telling you that. My dreams for the future, never really thought about it. As for my hobbies, I have lots of hobbies. That was total useless, all he told us was his name. Sakura huffed. The others agreed as their sensei spoke. Alright, your turn. You on the left, you first. My name is Sakura Haruno. What I like, I mean the person I like is She blushed. My hobby is my dream for the future is. She stuttered in embarrassment. And what do you hate? Kakashi questioned in boredom. Silently he thought, great, a lovesick fangirl. More interested in boys than being a ninja. Naruto. Sakura growled, glaring at the boy. Naruto just grunted as they moved on to Sasuke, who followed his introduction up by saying very little and vowing revenge against another. One guessed who that would be. Naruto sarcastically thought, the fox saying, save herself the trouble, kill the pathetic brat now. I am still not talking to you, stupid fox, and shut up, I am not kill Sasuke. Delightful conversation, brat. Kakashi spoke. Naruto, having missed that the man had been talking to him, just snorted and said, not talking to you either. Naruto. Sakura shouted in disbelief, scolding. You can't talk to our sensei like that. Oh, shut up, Sakura, I'll talk to the man anyway. I like it, isn't as if I need to after all. He took a tour inside my head, what's there left to say? So you were the Jounin? Sasuke stated with some surprise, glancing at the two. He added, do all Jounin make it a habit of climbing into heads of dobes? Must have been frightening. Hey, shut up. Naruto snapped. Kakashi looked in amusement, saying, well, you can certainly hold a grudge, brat. Grudge? Naruto exclaimed. I was bedridden for a month, I couldn't eat ramen or anything for that matter, and the only thanks I got was Sakura and Ino beating me to a bloody pulp. Who would have thought being beaten by them would realign my chakra? He thought out loud. Realign your chakra? Sakura gasped in confusion. You see, taking a vacation in my head messed my chakra up, made me ill. Naruto, what going on here? Why was Kakashi sensei in your head? The girl questioned, glancing at the two of them. That is between the brat and myself. It isn't open for discussion now. Then perhaps we should get started. As you know, you three are all now Genin, which means low-level ninjas. Usually I would give you a test, and more than likely fail you, as I have no use for teams who are useless, but this time I am doing things different, and there will be no test, you automatically pass, and we can move on to the next step. What? Naruto questioned with shock, shaking his head. You wonder what was going on. The fox snorting stated. Don't be stupid, brat, I warned you that the future would change, and it has begun, so just get used to it. Wait a minute, what's going on here? You're doing this to torture me, aren't you? Naruto accused. Now I must admit I did not think about such delightful benefits, but that is just a perk. Truthfully, I have went over each of your records and find myself intrigued. Sasuke Uchiha top of the class, second to Sakura Haruno. The dobe is at the bottom, so I ask what is your motive? Sasuke questioned, curious at what was going on between the elite Jounin and his idiotic classmate. Records aside, I have been inside his head, and as shocking as that may seem, he does have his uses. So happy to catch your interest. Naruto snorted sarcastically. I have said it once and I will say it again, you have an attitude, brat, and out of everyone you are in the most need to be trained in the basics. That attitude won't get you anywhere. Beat me? Naruto bit back. Sasuke and Sakura were shocked. Never had they ever heard Naruto behave or act so angry. Whatever passed between the two was something that was far beyond them, and made them even more curious as the Jounin replied with a feral grin. Sorry, you're not my type, kid. Oh, that's gross. Naruto shot back in disgust, glaring at the man who said, alright then, since the day is almost over, let's say we meet tomorrow at 5 at the designated training ground. That would be the one by the stone monument, is that clear? Then we can begin training. With that the man was gone. Naruto growling, show off. Folding his arms over his chest. He snapped. What? His teammate staring at him. What's up with you, dobe? Sasuke questioned. You wouldn't want to know. Naruto snorted. Naruto, you changed. What happened to you? How did you even pass? You guys really want to know? Naruto questioned, his brow raised. He looked at them, wondering if he should tell them. The fox, of course, warning him against it, but Naruto wasn't going to listen to the fox. We would not have asked if we didn't, dobe. Fine, I'll tell you, but not here. I'm warning you. Thought it isn't pretty, and just so you know, it isn't my fault. He added softly. I really need to know what has happened to the dope. Why the secrets, and why would a Jounin be even interested in him? Sasuke silently thought, a bit jealous though more curious. Naruto, what's wrong with here? Sakura questioned. To many eyes and ears, if you want to know, follow me. He replied and stated, taking off over the building. He jumped to another, heading to his apartment. The other two glanced at each other before following. Reaching his apartment, Sakura brow arched as she questioned. Naruto, isn't this your home? Yes, now don't stand in the doorway and don't bother taking your shoes off. Just shut the door. I need to activate the silent scrolls. Silent scrolls? Sasuke questioned curiously. Don't ask, you definitely don't not want to know. Naruto put in, emphasizing, not that he would have told him anyways, he could imagine it now. I made them because I read all about it in my copy of the Forbidden Scroll. You're right. Naruto snorted, as if I tell them that much. Shaking his head, he went to work. Once the seals were in place, he motioning the two to sit on the bed. He sat on one side, the other two taking the opposite as he started. Alright, what I am about to tell you is classified as an S classification, so nothing, I mean not one word, leaves this room. Agreed. What would you know about S classification? Sasuke snorted, not believing. Because I'm the one classified, so be quiet and let me explain. Naruto snapped, taking a breath. He said. Alright, first I will explain how I graduate before asking question. Let me finish. The two agreed as Naruto begun. It all started on the day of graduation. I was upset I failed again when I really did want to pass. I really did try hard, but what I didn't know is there was something about me that makes it difficult for me to do simple basic chakra control. Henceforth I failed, but I will explain that later. Right now, as I was saying while all of you were celebrating, I was sitting on the swing feeling sorry for myself when Mizuki-sensei approached me. Stupid as I was, I followed the man where we sat and talked till dark. At the time I thought he was just comforting me. But was I wrong? Turns out I was being used, and I was too stupid to figure it out. Hate to tell you this though, but Sasuke snorted. Oh, shut up, you want to hear this or not? Naruto snapped. Naruto, please just go on. What did Mizuki-sensei want from you? Sakura questioned, caught up in the story. He told me I could pass, but only in one way, and it was a secret. How was I supposed to know he was lying? I mean, he seemed sincere and he had always been nice to me, so I followed his direction and meet him in the woods as instructed. Only at the time I didn't know that the scroll he told me to steal wasn't just any scroll but the forbidden scroll of the village. Dobe, how stupid can you be? Sasuke exclaimed. Even Sakura was surprised at the boy's shock. She said. Naruto, Mizuki-sensei had you steal the scroll and you did it. I don't understand, should you not have been punished? Hey, thanks for the vote of confidence. As I said, I didn't know. I was just told if I learned one thing from the scroll I would graduate, so I did it. But before Mizuki showed up, Iruka-sensei found me. He realized Mizuki had tricked me, and well, there was a bit of a battle. He confessed, continuing. I found out some things, and in the end I learned a few new jutsu. Jounin level jutsu at Iruka-sensei passed me. The jutsu on the scrolls are forbidden. Sasuke pointed out. Yes, only because they require a large amount of chakra, which brings me to my second part. Before I tell you, I want you to know it doesn't make me any different. I'm still me, and well, even thought you probably hate me. I figure, since we are a team, you should know. Naruto? Sakura questioned, confused. Just listen. Do you remember the stories about the nine-tailed fox demon that attacked the village 11 years ago? The one that killed many of the villagers and nearly destroyed the village. Sasuke stated. Yeah, that be the one. He confirmed. Naruto, what does that have to do with you? The truth, what none of us knew but the adults did, is the Yondaime didn't kill the nine-tailed fox exactly. What are you saying, Dobe? Sasuke questioned, but he got a feeling he was already understanding, and now thinking about back it all made sense. Why the villagers seemed to hate Naruto and treat him horrible. The nine-tailed fox was only sealed, not defeated. Sealed in what? Sakura questioned. Sasuke answered. Don't you get it, Sakura? It makes sense now. Everyone in the village hates Naruto. Think about it. My god, no, it can't be the demon. He was sealed in you. That can't be. Why, I don't understand. Sakura gasped. The sealing required a sacrifice, hence that's why the Yondaime died. The other part was they needed someone whose chakra lines had yet to be fully formed. I was chosen. Why, I don't know, probably never will. You're the nine-tailed fox. Sakura screeched in fear, moving back. Sasuke on the other hand didn't, as he snapped. Quite being annoying. Naruto isn't the nine-tailed fox, he is only a vessel that imprisons the fox. He's still dope. Naruto was actual taken back. Honestly, he didn't even believe Sasuke would see that, and he was startled, his eyes tearing a little as he said. I am. Thank you, Sasuke. Don't, I'm not stupid, and it doesn't mean I like you or anything, I just know and understand. He grunted a bit and embarrassed. Naruto, Sakura stated with guilt. Naruto waved it off, saying. Story of my life. Just forget it. It isn't like it's not something I am used to, and I understand if you don't want to be around me anymore. Shut up, Naruto, you're an idiot. Sakura shouted, saying. I was shocked. Alright, but Sasuke's right. Even if the nine-tailed fox is in you, you're still Naruto, the stupid idiot you have always been. Hey, I'm not an idiot, at least not exactly. I only pretended to be an idiot. Naruto admitted. Sasuke raised his brow and questioned Naruto. Saya said. I was feared already and hated, and I learned early as long as people thought I was stupid, then at least they would stop trying to kill me, so I pretended to be stupid. Wait a minute, you purposely failed the academy? No, not exactly. Naruto confessed, explaining. I mean, I did fail the paper test purposely, but the basic jutsu that wasn't on purpose. The truth is my chakra control sucks, because I either use too much chakra or not enough, and I can't help it. The nine-tailed fox chakra is mixed with your own. Sasuke stated in understanding. Sort of, but not really. It's hard to explain, and I'm not really sure either. Scratching his head and thought, Naruto added. Actual, to come to my next confession, which has to do with our sensei. Confession or not, I still think you're dope. Sasuke snorted. Naruto just grinned, knowing he was more or less saying he had been accepted. As Naruto stated. The one thing I haven't told you is that not only am I the container of the nine-tailed fox, I can also hear him in my head. Naruto, that must be horrible. Sakura gasped. You would think so, and sometimes it is. I mean, when he wants to annoy me, he will start singing in my head when I am trying to sleep or whining about this, or that the truth is he's like having Iruka-sensei in my head, only he is always there. Even now he isn't happy. I told you. You mean right now you can hear him? Sakura questioned in disbelief. Naruto saying. I'm not crazy, Sakura. Honestly, ask Kakashi-sensei. He was in my head, and he talked to the stupid fox. Then why did he not kill you? Sasuke questioned. You know, I asked that too, not that he tell me. Bastard, he pisses me off. Whatever happened, I shouldn't have took off, then I would know why the sudden change of instead of killing me, he let me live. Run off? Sakura questioned. Let's just put it this way, inside my head they're like these hallways and several doors. Don't ask. I never entered anyone except the one where the nine-tailed fox is imprisoned in a large room with water soaking the floor, and a large steel bar cage with a seal on the door. The first time I met him, I really don't remember, and well, I always thought I was dreaming. I didn't realize until Mizuki told me about the decree that I was even the container of the stupid fox. Naruto, if you can hear him, can't he take control of you? No, not really. I mean, drive me crazy, keep me from sleeping, but my thought and decision are my own. Besides, if he had wanted to when I was young, before I even understood, he could have tricked me into releasing him, but he didn't. He actually helped me. My life wasn't filled with love and flowers, Sakura. Every month, I was just lucky to survive. A lot of the villagers, they hated me, fear me, still do, and would do anything to be rid of me. I had more than one time at the point of death, and the fox he healed me gave me his chakra, and even thought, I hate to admit it, he can be somewhat pleasant when he wants to be. I should have devoured you long ago. The fox grunted inside him, though Naruto could tell it wasn't in anger, as he laughed and said. I offended him. Naruto, no offense, but that's just creepy. So you have unlimited chakra? Sasuke questioned, impressed, even slightly jealous. No, not really. My body isn't exactly meant for so much chakra, and eventuality it will probably kill me, poison me. I guess you can say thought, when you know I'm just walking a death door every day. So that's why Kakashi-sensei is interested in you, because of the fox? Yes. Naruto shrugged, saying. I'm just a brat with the fox who can't control chakra. Well, you two are the ones with the potential for skill. Me, I probably only get to train learning to control chakra. Well, you actually get to train learning new skills and jutsu, which suck. Naruto, do you really believe that? I mean, I may have thought you were an idiot before, but now I think even you have potential. Yet to blow myself up, I heard about his tree walking exercisers, and so I thought I'd give it a try. Guess what? After several hours I nearly broke my neck. Then I blew the tree to bits. That's how I meet Kakashi. He decided I need pointers, or I was going to blow up the forest. Then everything kind of went downhill, and let's just say it wasn't a pretty day I want to remember. Then you better train hard though, because one day you and I will fight to see who is the best. Sasuke stated seriously. You can keep the title of the best Sasuke, I just want to survive. Naruto sighed before grinning. Can be Hokage if I dead, can I? Naruto. Sakura laughed, smacking the boy with the pillow. Stupid dope. Sasuke snorted, but inside of him he felt a warmth he had not in a long time, a feeling of knowing he had been trusted with something so personal and dangerous as someone should learn, and he realized Naruto the dope had handed and offered him something far greater than revenge. He had offered him trust and friendship. It was a frightening revelation, one he would need to think about. The night had not gone as Naruto expected. Instead of his friends turning their back on him, they stayed, offering their friendship, which made Naruto swamped in a warm feeling. That night three of them bonded closely like never before, talking about things of no use and others that were a part of who they were and what they become. Sasuke even confessed his vengeance for his brother Naruto and Sakura, vowing to support him in any way, convincing him they were a team and his vengeance was their own. On the outside Sasuke refused, but inside a piece of him filled that he didn't even realize was missing, and before too long the three succumbed to exhaustion, none realizing the rude awakening they would receive by morning. Thank you so much for watching.